Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Y'all are brewheads? Yeah, we brewheads. So pour a glass of craft beer, we can do this. Yeah.
What's good, y'all? This is Cee, certified BrewHead.
And I'm Nathan from NathanDoesBeer.
And welcome to episode 156 of Beer Nothing, the podcast Adjunct series. Nathaniel, I think this might be, we've said this before, the episode of the year that we're waiting for, the one that's our favorite, that seems to be the one that the people want to see in here. Are you ready?
It does seem to be a fan fave, yes.
I am ready. It is I knew you are. You look ready as fuck. It's a beaut, guys. This is our third annual. Is that fair to say? Third annual top 10 breweries in Ontario for 2023. Well, not the third for 2023, but you see what I'm saying. It's our third one. We're doing 2023.
Can we get a round of applause for that?
Yeah, do you know what? I was actually thinking that, and I got distracted.
Hey!
It's been quite the year. I mean, we are recording this first week, January 4th, we're recording this, so it's, first week of Jan, which is always how we record it, because we want the full year, calendar year, to eclipse before we record. I think that's only fair. What a year. What a year. This has been my first full year living in Ontario since, 2011. So, I felt it was, whilst I was always here, getting the beer, staying up to date, interviewing breweries from here, this is the first time just being immersed in it in such a long time, and it's pretty spectacular, bro. Pretty spectacular.
Indeed. So arguably, this is the most qualified you've been to weigh in on the top 10. I'm just kidding. You've obviously been very in the Ontario scene the whole time.
Well, technically, then the least qualified to talk about the Quebec one, which we're doing next week. So fuck. But I still take.
That might actually be more accurate, because you've been a bit farther removed from Quebec this year than you ever were from Ontario.
Exactly. Like, if you didn't get me Quebec beer, I pretty much wouldn't have had Quebec beer. So I think it must have been 98% of beer. Maybe we did a few pods from Quebec this year. So I got some, but otherwise it was everything that you picked up for me. Thank you very much. But it's been cool to be here and really soak it up and to I was about to say understand it more. I feel like I always did, but just to constantly be exposed. I'm going to Durand every week, essentially, almost every week anyway, to grab the new stuff, see what's going on, keep tabs, and I feel like being here more often, it's given me a better perspective on the wider reaching and the breadth of offerings the province has. I feel like that's what I didn't really get to see as much before. And also I got to visit a lot of places this year and see the province a lot more in some areas I've never been before. And I'm just extraordinarily impressed. I feel like it's been undersold, if I'm honest. At least just Ontario in general. It's just a beautiful place, and there's so much great stuff coming out of this this wonderful part of the world. So it's exciting.
And certain regions of the province too are pretty especially dope for beer. I know you've seen Guelph quite a bit recently, and we've had quite a few Guelph pods this past year. Cambridge as well is another one. There's lots of pockets of really great beer scenes, and of course your own home scene right now of Hamilton is just bumping as always.
Absolutely. I mean, and you and I got out to Kitchener this year, which was a great scene as well. And even the ones that are along the way, Third Moon in Milton and down at, the Caledon area with Badlands and Sun and Hill, and even down Niagara with Counterpart. There's so many, and that's just this kind of, and that's not even including when you go and getting down further to Windsor or up to London. We had Storm Stayed on, we've had Anderson on. It's awesome. Then up north, if you want to go up there, Muskoka region, there's a bunch of great stuff. It's, got Kingston's popping right now, Wheeled Brew out in Barrie doing fantastic things. And of course, your home area of Ottawa has never been slacking. I felt like since Tooth and Nail and Dominion came in, Beyond the Pale kind of kicked it off. And then since the other guys, just been beautiful.
Yep.
Gorgeous.
For sure.
And we're going to be celebrating many of those regions tonight with our picks.
Yes, we are.
So as usual, just to break this down, this is our personal opinions on our favorite breweries in Ontario for 2010, our top 10 favorite breweries in Ontario for 2023. Not for 2010, because that would be a very different conversation. Most of them probably don't
Yes,
exist.
yes.
And these aren't saying that they are the best. This is our personal opinions. If your favorite brewery isn't there, it doesn't mean that we don't think that brewery is great. This was tough. To be fair, we had at least, I would say, half a dozen other names that we had to kind of fight it out for the top 10.
Yeah.
And we did some honorable mentions this year as well as last year, which is something that it's like our little way to squeeze in some more names. And yeah, so it's not like we're saying anything isn't good if it's not here. It's just maybe we either lacked other stuff more because that's hit our palate more, or two, we just didn't get to try it. There's for what, 450 odd breweries in the province. I mean, you can only get so much. So
Yeah.
we did our best, over the year. As we always do, we want to know what's going on. We're trying different stuff, and just want to lay that because I always feel like someone always definitely want to hear if people want to comment, on Instagram or on YouTube or whatever, like, hey, what about blah, blah, blah. I think these guys did great this year. I'm like, fuck yeah, hell yeah, they did. It's just, we just didn't catch it, or maybe they'll make it on next year once we get some, get to try some more. So just wanted to lay that kind of caveat there, because I definitely don't want anyone to feel offended or that we are ignoring something or whatever. It's just, there's only so much anybody can do. It doesn't just go for us. It literally goes for everybody. It's just not possible.
Yep.
And with that lengthy intro, shall we start with yes?
We can get started. The only other thing that I want to add is that, as an added bonus this year, this is the first time that between the two of us, we've got a beer like that we're going to be drinking from each of the top 10, which I don't think we've done before. We've hit I think we've previously hit like 5 or 6, but this time we've got beers for all 10, which I think is pretty
all
cool.
10. Yes, it is very dope. We've even got a couple of them that we're both going to do together. So we have a lot of work to do this evening, but you and I are never afraid to throw some beers at our faces on a Thursday evening, Nathaniel. And the other thing is, these are in no order whatsoever. This is in order. Essentially, it's more of like the styles that we're drinking, so that both of us can sort of have a more easy drinking experience that would replicate our usual patterns of drinking. So zero order. It's not even alphabetical order. The only thing is, we did we are going to announce a brewery of the year, which we're going to keep to the end. Did we? Excuse my extraordinarily shit memory. We did it last year, right? The brewery.
We did it last year. Was the first time we did Brewery of the Year, and Badlands is the one that we chose as Brewery of the Year last year.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I thought, but I want to make sure. Once again, I have a horrendous memory because we drink a lot on this thing. Tiff was asking me the other day, we were doing a pod, and she was asking me, so what are other brewers saying about all this stuff? And I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I remember. So it's a terrible thing. So with all of that, I think we are good to go. So the first beer, which I'm going to kick this off, the first beer or the first brewery that we think are in Nathaniel and Cee's top 10 breweries in the wonderful province of Ontario for 2023. We're taking it. I'm glad I got to announce this one, because we're taking it to Nathaniel's hometown of Ottawa right there with Tooth and Nail. Yep. Do we give him all a round of applause? We should give a round of applause. There you go.
Shouts to Tooth and Nail.
Huge shouts. I mean, look, Matt Tweedy out there is making some of the best beers in the province, whilst also being one of the best dudes in beer. Everyone loves him. The beer I'm drinking is Vim and Vigor, their flagship Pilsner. Easily one of the best Pilsners in the province, if not one of the best beers in the province, like, period.
I would say so.
I don't think anyone
There's probably even a good case to make that it's got to be a top Pilsner in the country, I'm sure.
I absolutely would agree with that. Fortunately, last time we did a little beer trade, you were able to secure some of this for me, and I was extremely stoked to get some. But yeah, Tooth and Nail have been, Matty's a bit more of a traditionalist kind of guy, a bit more of a purist in his approach, and it's exquisite, fucking exquisite. And it's something that I can't remember. We need to have him back on. I just want to tell him again, because I appreciate him so much more than when we first had him on in like 2017. He's just like, once again, best pills are like, there's a million beers that start with F, which is like the oatmeal stout. Fortitude?
Yes.
Okay. because you grabbed that for me, and I had that the other day, and it's glorious. And I know they have a nitro version at the pub, and yeah, Fortissimo, you also got me their barrel aged like coffee stout, which is spectacular. He does a lot of Belgian stuff, which isn't my jam, but just good to know. You know, if you're into Belgian, fucking that's your man. They also have the side project that Abby set something.
Yep.
In partnership with Godspeed, which is kind of suggests, you know, like Minds, you know, another brewery that's exceptional with the crispies and the more traditional stuff. You could probably add a little bit more color to that just because you probably be more familiar with the styles. I don't get Tooth and Nail enough, but Durand hit me up the other day. He's like, hey, do you have a contact for Tooth and Nail? I'm like, yeah, bitch, I do. And I got him that. So now hopefully that means I'll be able to get access to at least some of their beers more often. But I'd like, yeah, tell me a little more from your side as an Ottawa resident, what they mean.
Yeah. And they really have gone back to like to local roots too. There was a bit of a time when they and this was mainly during COVID, I think, when they needed to expand their sales network, where they were offering province-wide shipping. That's so that's gone back away, and they've shifted back to their primary local focus. Their their brew pub is in Hintonburg, which is a pretty dope neighborhood here, and it's a great space there that they've got, kind of right in the center of the neighborhood, and they really are even though they've got such high renown across the province, they really are like a local Ottawa brewery for sure. And you really cover you really covered off everything that is known and great about them in Maddie's approach. Very traditionally educated and traditional in the beers that he likes and the beers that he likes to brew. A couple of other notes that I would add on there is that even though haze is not really his thing at all, when it comes but they do knock out some fantastic IPAs, and the examples that I would call on, Rabble Rouser is is kind of their main West Coast IPA. One that doesn't come around very often, but is always exciting when it does, is Sucker Punch, which is their double Westie. And then there's an annual favorite of mine, which is their tribute to Sierra Nevada Celebration, called Hop Hugs, which is just an absolute gem. I've still never had Sierra Nevada Celebration to this day, but I get Hop Hugs every year, and I'm very glad for it. So, yeah, we could go on all night, saying good things about Tooth and Nail. Very deserving as they've been in our top 10 all 3 years that we've been doing this.
They have. I'm just double checking it's on the same note here. Yes, and this was the year personally I had the most from Tooth and Nail, thanks to you, and it's a pleasure. It truly is. So if you haven't had an opportunity to at least get some Vim and Vigor, either get down to Ottawa if you can, trade somebody for it, or ask your local independent bottle shop to see if they can order it, and shoot them a DM or an email, and I'm sure they'll put the store in touch, because it's what you need in your life. At the very least, just get this beer. This is just everything. It's
it's one of those things of, if you have the opportunity to get any Tooth and Nail beer, it's got to be Vim and Vigor.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Now, in between each of the ones, we're going to do a little honorable mention. We actually put on 5 together. Actually, that's what we did last year too. And maybe we'll put those together, and then we can mention, we put a list of our top podcasts as well, some of our favorite podcasts, which are 5. So we'll just do one of each in between each thing. So would you like to do the first honorable mention?
Sure, yes. So first honorable mention is the Hidden Gem Award.
Yes.
And this is a brewery that we talked to a few months back. And it is from... Okay, wait a minute now. Scotland, Ontario. Yes, Scotland, Ontario. And it is Flux Brewery. So before we had these guys on, neither of us had tasted anything from them. Only heard just wonderful things from folks that we know, who live kind of in the surrounding area, and
And
we
we
were
love the
blown
branding.
away. Yes, the branding is fantastic, and we were blown away by how good the
Blown
beers
away.
were.
Could not
It
believe it.
was,
Not a single
yeah.
drop left out of. We had 6 shorties in the pod between us. Not a drop remaining.
Not a drop remaining. And it was one of, I think must have been 6 or 7 interviews that we did this fall where we kicked the pod off with a fest beer. And my God, is that the best way to start one off. And that is one of those cases too, where it really starts the night off right, because usually when we only drink about half a beer of each beer, that was one of those cases of every single time there's a fest beer, like that glass is dry before we move on to the next one. And Flux was no exception.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the fest beer was spectacular, but all the styles that they did were just, like you said, we were blown away. Their haze, spectacular. I think there might have been another lager or an ESB or something.
Yep, there was a brown ale.
Brown ale, which is like an underdog. But both.
Or sorry, maybe it wasn't a brown ale. No, oh, you know what it was? It was a dark beer, is what they called it. Kind of
like
similar
Matron.
to, exactly. That's what it was.
Yeah. Because and they actually like I said, that Justin's beer was an inspiration, which is even cooler because Justin's the man.
Yep.
Just really dope, man. Like it was like a hidden gem because it was a big surprise for us, and oftentimes we meet the person right before we record the podcast, and then in a brewery like that, we'd never had their beer before. And that happens maybe 30% of the time we've never had the beer, maybe.
Yeah.
So it was just like, it was just a great experience to the point where like both of us are super excited about getting down there and sort of watching their progression as far as how they go. So
yeah, and we definitely call it a hidden gem because it's one that not a lot of people in the province are talking about. Certainly not enough people in the province are talking about. It was really only a small handful of people in the industry that we know, and
correct.
We were super, super impressed and would love to see them get a higher profile in the scene.
100%. We're gonna keep trying to. I wouldn't mind doing a pod with them every year and a bit, just to sort of keep tabs on what they're doing, because it was that good, and for how long they've been around, it's almost like they shouldn't be. They have no business being that good that young. So, and they were cool as fuck. Just great.
Yeah, they
dudes.
were.
So much love to Flux, hidden gem. All right, the second brewery now, Nathaniel. In the top 10 in Ontario.
Yep. So second up, we're going to Whitby. Because this one is Town Brewery.
Uncle Jeffrey.
Yes.
I just want to congratulate Jeffrey on getting an iPhone, because he had an Android for the longest time. And I texted him the other day and he had a blue bubble. And he's like, I have never got more compliments on anything in my life than getting an iPhone. And I was like... Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to say that little anecdote.
Oh no, not at all. That's great. So Town are an absolute fave of ours. Have been for a long time. No, this is Fidelity.
Fidelity's my
favorite.
I fucking love this beer. And it's an LCBO beer. Look at it. This is such a stunning brew. Such a brilliant one, and I love that they've got more and more LCBO listings. They started with Square Wheels, and then they added. I think it was Outside Jokes, their pale ale, and then they had Mad Nice in there. They had Quick One, which is their like 4% American lager, I think. And then they put Fidelity in there. So they've been like, they're more accessible, but their quality is just... It's like they get better every year. And they're just cool as shit.
Yeah, I think they do. Yeah. So like some of the nicest people in the in the scene. We had a pod with Jeff this year, which was super cool. And one of those episodes this year that was like not just a straight up and down interview. I mean, Jeff's been on a bunch, but like some really good insight into things happening in the scene, and kind of where the scene is going. And of course, they got their big waterfront space like this summer. That was that was a pretty huge development for them.
Oh yeah, we got to go down. I think it must have been August, the day after we did the pod with 5 Paddles. I can't remember when that was. I think it was August, and it was just wicked, bro. It was such a vibe. it was just chilling. We just went down for an hour or two in the afternoon. Jeff was down there and stuff, and it'd be wicked at night, like all the fairy lights and like on a nice balmy July evening. Spectacular, and it's just down the road from the brewery, like literally a minute or two.
Yeah.
Super cool, and they really like tied in with the community. And Jeff's been been heavily involved with the OCB this year. Like he's the one who got us involved in the conference. So we always appreciate him for that, for looking out for Link Up. They were one of the original supporters of Link Up as well. All the styles they're doing, phenomenal. The haze, killer. You know, they got the side project of cider, Safe Bet Cider, which is super smart. They've been doing a lot of great collabs. With some of the best breweries in the province. They just, you know.
Yep. They got in with. I don't know if they've done
they
one
were
with
talking
Sinkim,
about
I don't
it,
think.
Maybe
They were talking about it. I'm sure. I'm sure Jeff and Jacob are in touch. But they did a collab with Fine Balance for Fine Balance's anniversary beers. They did one of the pops.
Yes. That was fire.
Yeah,
I think it was a single pop. No, the double. It was the double, right?
No, it was the double. It was the double. Yeah, and they've also been putting out some crazy Westies this year, including the two-way collab that they did with Fairweather.
Yes, and that was super sick. Fortunately enough, I don't know if I said this on here. Jeff and I met up. I think it was October in 2021, maybe. For like brunch, he came down. We grabbed something. We went to Fairweather, and I posted. And then the social media guy happened to be in the brewery. He's like, "Hey, he knew the pod." And then Ram came out, so then I got to meet Ram properly. And then he met Jeff at the same time. He took us around and stuff, and they connected. And they did a beer just because randomly we were there and happened to post a photo. So it was very cool to see that sort of organically just happen. And particularly for a big fave for you and I is the Westie side of things. For both of them,
sure.
Both do some great ones, and they've been busting out. Town have been busting out some Westies in 2023 too. They did a bunch of great ones. Aside from the Fairweather one, there was at least one or two other ones that they did that I don't even know if I got to try them. Maybe one of them, I can't remember. But just everything they throw in there. Sours, killing it. They did a few bottles, and so I can't remember if the bottles were last year or the year before, but they've just been consistently innovating, making great beer, supporting the community. Supporting Ontario craft beer and beyond, organically, and it's just cool to see. And once again, like you said, amazing humans, and it's great to see great humans win, and even better that they make great products that we genuinely want to consume. So, Town are very very deserving. I also think I'm gonna double check. Oh, Town were the first year, not last year, but they probably should have been in hindsight. I feel like they got even better this year compared to last year, though. This is really hard. I'm just looking at this. I'm like, damn, it's so fucking difficult to do these damn lists.
Yeah, it is.
10 ain't enough. Maybe that's the point, though. Maybe it makes you, stress it and get it in there. But, yeah, man. Anything else to add for Town?
I don't think so. They're just a fantastic brewery and very clearly deserving.
Fucking damn right. Well, I'll mention another honorable mention, or should I do a pod? Should we do a pod and then go between? What do you think?
Yeah, sure. Let's mix it up. Why not?
Let's mix it up. All right. Top pods of 2023. These were just pods that were just we felt were just really insightful, valuable conversations. So one of them, once again, just some of the ones that came to mind after quickly reviewing it. And the first one we had here was episode 150 called Triple Pop with Andrew Silva of Fine Balance. That was a really fun pod, man. Andrew is a gem. He's been on 3-4 times as well. No, 3. That was the third time. That was only our first follow-up, wasn't it?
Yeah, because twice for full pods, once for link up.
Thank you. See, you know more than me. I love it. So Andrew is just such a gem, and we are both passionate fanboys of Fine Balance. Did you see they released sparkling waters called Spicy?
I did. A whole series.
I was just gonna do an order. I was gonna hit you about it, but I was like, I might as well just do an order because it's gonna be too hard to probably deal with the shipping thing. But particularly in January. But yeah, man, they're just everything's great. They've been innovating. Did a bunch of barrel aged stuff recently with some stouts and that Eisbach and a farmhouse for the anniversary. They're just really holding it down for that sort of high pace brewery in that side of the province.
Absolutely.
And that particular podcast was just great. It was just a really great conversation, thoughtful. We got into deeper thing, kind of what you said about Jeff, actually, on that pod. We went into a bit of a deeper conversation with Andrew about, about sort of maybe a bit more philosophical, I guess, about beer and where it's going and what we can do to sort of get the industry out of where it's at. And it was just a really good one, man. Not surprising because Andrew's just such an honest, like, genuine dude. Like, I just like him. I think he's just a good guy, a good fucking dude.
Same.
Just
one of my favorite people in the scene for sure. We also had a good chat about the OCB and kind of the value of the OCB and kind of the balancing act of what's the right level of involvement with it and that kind of thing too. That's what I thought was one of the most interesting parts of that convo.
Yes, the fact, because I think it was right about the time we just did the link up session there. So he was asking about the value of it because we were trying to understand ourselves. I just thought it was a really cool thing that on a live pod, well, not live, on a pod like that a brewery is asking the question. I just thought it was someone who just really cares. So definitely would recommend you check that out. Episode 150. I'm up, aren't I?
Yes, you're up.
The next brewery. Is that it? That's it. The next brewery in our top 10 breweries in Ontario in 2023 are the good folks. Let me get the sound effect ready. At Willowball. Oh, yes. Let's go. Willowball.
Champions.
I mean, just, what do we even say? Let me see if they were on. They were on last year. Oh, but they weren't on the first year, but I reckon that's just because we didn't have enough of them. Willowball were a brewery. I remember first hearing about it from the guys at Rosewood Winery in Beamsville. And they basically were a distillery primarily, and then they introduced beer. We had them on in 21? I think
it was 2022.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, it was, and that's what we were talking about. Badlands and Willowball we had at the same time. And, it was really cool. Cam and Joe, such great dudes. You and I went down there in May. I think it was May 24.
I think it was July, actually. Yeah, because it was Canada Day weekend, I remember.
Oh, it was Canada Day, so it wasn't May 24.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. And it was like a raining fucking day. Super whack. But it
was a great time though. Like they've got such a great patio set up there, like fully covered, even though it was absolutely pissing rain the whole the whole time. But we still got to have a pizza and some brews outside. It was fantastic. The location is absolutely beautiful. I don't know how else you could make. How else you could make such a nice outdoor farm brewery space. They've got it all there.
Couldn't agree more. Keep going.
I was just going to say the breadth of styles that they do exceptionally well. It's just wild. Crispies, first of all, see-through, they're Hellas, exceptional.
Yep.
And one of had the last time that they were on for the pod, their export. Yeah.
Killer.
Or the Dortmunder Lager, that's a dangerous one because that one's like 6.5%, although it drinks like 4.5.
Oh, big time. And there was the one you and I had such a good experience there, and Cam wasn't there at the time. And then I took my mother-in-law and Tiffany and Tiff's cousin Dan, who's been on before. We all went down in Labor Day-ish, maybe. Unless we went somewhere. No, when did we go to Kitchener? That was that day. That was Canada Day.
Yeah, that was that day.
Okay, so we must have gone. I know it was a holiday weekend. So it was sometime probably around then. And Cam wasn't there again, so it was just bad timing both the times for me. But we got the full tour this time because Tyler. So we met Tyler and Gordo, who was on the pod when he worked for Nickelbrook, now is the brewer alongside Joe at Willowbald. So they gave us the full tour, and it's funny, when we went there, we could have just got right in and sat down. After maybe an hour of doing the tour, we came back and then we couldn't get a seat. So we were like, oh, fuck, we really want to eat. So then the beautiful part, they have all these outdoor tables and a little bar right there. So you can add it to a tab. You don't even have to pay. You can add it to your tab, and you can just get a drink. So we all just got a drink, sat around, and maybe half an hour later, like didn't even finish the drink. You move on in, and I got the same pizza that you and I had again because it was that good. Just loved it. Their seltzers and their spirits are just phenomenal. Tiff, my partner's been buying the seltzers for most of 2023, like by the case. We'd order them online or grab them from Durand or Endless out here. And they're just the best. If you're into seltzers, they're probably the best in the province, I would say. Super tasty, wicked branding, tons of great flavors. They're ready to drink, gin mules and all these different things. Super flavorful. It's just the branding's great. The merch is awesome. Yeah. If you're into liquor, they got fun stuff like gingerbread gin and like there's another one that's escaping me right now. But they do like just really cool, fun stuff, man. They're just a great brewery. And this beer called With Love is a pale ale with Nectaron, Citra, and Waimea. I actually had it, I think last week, and grabbed this one from Durand today. I just want to finish this Vim and Vigor though because I forgot to bring an extra glass. I'm going to need it for the last one. But yeah, man. Look at this. Look at this beautiful haze. Look at this, just murk. It's just gorgeous. Super fantastic. Tasty. I'm just like a huge fan. I can't say enough about Willowbold across the board. They're just such a great business. I love that they've diversified. Their seltzers are just flat. They can't keep them on the shelves. They're in the LCBO, I think, for the purple one, which is just kind of like a grapeish kind of flavor. Yeah, man. Just the bet. I got to see Cam at the OCB and Tyler actually. Had a good chat with him there, and every time I see him, it's just so warm. Just great fucking people. They came to the link up chat as well, which was dope. So just I don't know, big fans. I just think they're just great people. I didn't recognize Cam because he didn't have a hat on. Or was the other way around? Oh. He had a hat on and he didn't have one. At first I was like, I know you, but I can't place it. Yeah, man, huge fan. If you haven't tried Willowbold and you're out here, please do yourself a favor. Do an order online. Just get a bunch of stuff, whatever they got. You can't go wrong. Yeah. I haven't had even a mid beer from them. Everything from the Crispies. Basically, it's Crispies and they do some great stouts too. They're imperial stouts.
They do some great stouts, and lots of them are imperial. Is that they can be pretty dangerous, and like their imperials are not like 8%, like they're 10 to 12 in the in the cans, and these aren't even barrel aged ones, and are not, and they're not ones that are like super burny either. It's like they're very, very smooth, but like they will get you fucked up.
Oh yeah, I almost grabbed. I'm just so overstocked right now, but the one that you grabbed. What was that called? The one that you grabbed the other day when we met up?
Drip.
Yes, I saw that.
Stout. Yeah, I
didn't realize it was 11.5. I was like, oh yeah, I could do with that. I thought it might have been like I was hoping for like 6, and I was like, oh man, I have got so many cans of 11% stouts I need to get through. I'm just like, I don't want this to just sit there. Particularly coffee, I think it like drops a little bit, and I'd rather have it fresh. But they're just so good. Oh, this is brilliant. Oh, and it's Nectaron. Nectaron's one of the other cheat hops. Pizzerino, obviously the GOAT. But yeah, anyway, Willowbold, just fucking phenomenal. Do yourself a favor. Put that in you.
Yep, absolutely.
Nathaniel with the honorable mention. Oh, this is a special one.
Oh yeah, this is a special one, and kind of a somber note too. So this is the Gone But Not Forgotten Award, and you probably already know what we're going to be saying here. Rest in peace, Barncat Ales.
I just want to make it clear we're not clapping for them not being here.
Yes, we're not clapping for the fact that they closed. That's a somber round of applause for one of our favorite breweries of all time.
Yes.
We did an episode. Yeah, we did an episode this year as a bit of a farewell tribute to Barncat after they announced this spring that they were going to be closing up shop in the summer, which I think the entire province's beer community was absolutely devastated about, especially with everything that they did to kind of set the scene on its tracks, especially for the kind of more contemporary styles, which they were very much on the forefront of, very much the precursors to a lot of to a lot of haze and and barrel aged stuff in the province, is kind of following on the heels of Barncat, no question.
Oh yeah. Excuse me, Jeremy confirmed they did the first haze in Ontario, I believe, in April 2016, or was it 15? No, 15.
Yeah, I think 15.
15. So like they're completely ahead of the game, like you said, with the stouts too. And I know that the way that the goodbye post, if you look at the volume of comments and the volume of breweries that are just devastated,
Yeah.
it definitely was a sad loss. It was essentially a lease thing, but I think the boys were ready to pack it in anyway. But there are two kind of silver linings with Barncat being gone. One is that Third Moon purchased one of their fermenters. And when I was in there, I think I was down there in July or August or something, and got to see it there. So Bebo was like stoked for it because I guess it's just got like a good omen, having a Barncat fermenter that's just produced so much phenomenal beer. And secondly, I discovered a brewery called Sparrow this year, and I found out that Matt from Barncat now works for them. And very impressed from what I've had from them. And that means that the kind of Barncat legacy is somewhat living on through Sparrow, which is very, very cool. I believe Jeremy's out of beer. I think he was over it, but Matt wanted to stay in. So instead of owning it, he's out there making it. So as sad as that is, the impact will never be ever, like I said, gone but not forgotten type thing. And
Yeah, they're a brewery that really meant a lot to me, and were especially formative, kind of in my time coming up in the scene and kind of shaping my palate and kind of what I would eventually come to love in the scene, as we kind of get to now. So, yeah. Jeremy, Matt, love you guys, and whatever thank you for your service. Matt, love that he's still in the scene. And Jeremy, I hope you're just happy doing what you're doing now.
Amen, brother. Well said. Well said. All right, Nathaniel, you are up.
So, number 4 in our top 10, going to Kingston right now for Fine Balance, as we've already talked about.
Oh, is that a fresh can, a single pup right there?
Yeah, that's right.
That's fucking. Well, I mean, like fresh is fresh. But you know what I mean. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yes. So I had a can of single pop left over from their anniversary, and this is the anniversary beers that we were drinking when we had Uncle Andrew on the pod back in the fall.
Big Andy.
Yes, indeed. So
what a champion.
Like I was saying, this was part of 3 series of IPAs that they did for their anniversary. This is Single Pop, which was a collaboration with our friends at Badlands. And it's a 6.5% IPA with Nelson Sauvin and Moteca.
Oof. Cannot
go
wrong.
No, cannot go wrong. And this a pretty meaningful beer for them because it was their first time working with freestyle hops, and it was their first time brewing a 6.5% IPA, which might not sound like a significant thing, but but as Andrew was talking about, it's a bigger deal than it sounds like, because most of their IPAs that they've done have been more like 7.5%, and kind of dialing that style down to a very specific target like 6.5 it is more meaningful than it sounds, because it takes a pretty delicate hand to kind of hone into a specific target exactly like that. And 6.5% is what every single IPA that Badlands does. So I think this was a pretty significant beer for them. And as you saw, there was also the series of 6.5% freestyle hopped IPAs that they did later on as kind of the next step in this process. So
great.
So it's a meaningful. So it was a meaningful step for them. And we've already been talking about everything that we love about Andrew as a person and Fine Balance as a brewery. They continue to be one of our absolute faves in the province.
Could not agree more. The 6.5 was a bit of an homage to Badlands. Obviously their IPAs are all 6.5, their double IPAs are all 8.2. Look at that Merc, it's beautiful, great head. Yeah,
All
it
eight,
was
not eight, not 8-2. It's eight,
for Badlands. Aren't they all eight
isn't
two?
it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I
they're
thought
all
it was
8-2.
eight. You could be right. Never mind.
That's okay.
Go on.
Usually I'm wrong, but I feel like this one I'm like 92%.
Yeah, you might actually. I'm like. I should have kept my fucking mouth shut. Go on.
No, never mind. It's okay. So it was cool to see that. But yeah, man, just like we're saying about the pod, it's just great people, great beer. I mean, before we even got to know Andrew, we did the pod before we tried their beers, didn't we? We tried them first time on the pod. Yeah.
No,
No?
I had been there
You had
once
the
before
glassware.
before we had them on the pod.
I remember for your birthday. And you
Correct.
got the glassware, and that's why we had Daft and Fine Balance on the pod, because you went to both of them and you were like, bro, this is fucking amazing. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, we need to be putting Kingston on the map here.
I love that. Okay, so you had tried them and raved. I was stoked. I remember losing my mind to their flagship oat cream IPA, oats and cream.
Yes.
Nobody has the balls to have a flagship as a oat cream IPA, and it's just exquisite. Definitely one of my favorite beers in Ontario. It's so consistent. They have the double version. I think they even did a triple version. They're crispy.
And speaking of bold too, for your flagship IPA to have Citra and Nelson, like that's an expensive hop to be to be putting in your flagship, and and it is a dope IPA.
It's so damn good. You're so right. And it's just like, I don't think their beers are overpriced by any means. I believe not too long after we did those pods, I was in the area when I still lived in Montreal, and I went down and saw Andrew and got to try like some of the dark lager on Luca. The Crispies are phenomenal.
Yes.
Just across the board, their beers are just so great. And even back then, we were like, oh, these guys are like next up. I actually think in 2021 we didn't have them in. Oh, we did have. Hang on, we did have them in the top 10. My bad. They've been in the top 10 every year.
Yes.
I think initially, if we had have heard of them maybe a little early, they kind of like got right in the top 10. I think they were that good. They didn't even get that kind of like next up thing. They were like,
yes.
like top 10. Like they just
No, I think they were they were that good right off the hop, and
they really were.
And when we talked to them for the first time, they had been just past their first year anniversary at that point.
Correct.
So it's so it's not like we were even boosting or anything. Like they had some time to hone in their shit at that point.
Correct. And I really think they've been living up to our expectations of them.
Oh my goodness, they've only gotten better.
Yeah, and it's just they really care about the community. They're doing those quarterly community collabs, and it's like ingrained in the company. They're just good motherfuckers, man, and they just care about what's happening. It's just really
absolutely
cool. Yeah.
And just to say one more thing about
Please.
their beer. And some props that they've gotten. Jacob from Cinquième Baron was telling me a story that when they were doing a bit of, they were kind of doing a bit of industry sampling to kind of do some research to kind of hone in on on something that they would want to produce for their next style. And when they were looking at Hefeweizens, prior to Baron beer coming out, they were trying a bunch of Hefeweizens from a bunch of different breweries, and the one that must have been something like 10 different breweries that they had tried, and the one that blew them away the most for everyone who was trying them was Fine Balance's Blay Hefeweizen.
Hell yeah, I love to hear that.
That's pretty dope props from coming from Jacob and the team there.
Yeah, man, those guys aren't fucking around. Just want to quickly mention Cinquième Baron. This beer is out right now. This is Winter Walks, a double West Coast IPA collab with our good friend NathanDoesBeer. If you are able to grab that while it's still available, and by the time this comes out, hopefully you can still get it, but you need to put it in you because this is on the fucking wall here, because this is a brilliant beer. Squad is out here. I just want to give some shout outs, even though we're not talking about Quebec. I just want to make sure people know.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Of course. I made sure my first can, I picked the one with the prettiest labels. And it's like, oh, that's going on the wall for Nathaniel right now.
Oh, yeah.
I just realized you couldn't see it. Now I can see it. Fine Balance, killer. Anything else? Or we...
No, I think that's good.
Love it. Alrighty. Next of our top pods for 2023. This was an interesting one. This was something I want to do more of this year, by the way. Episode 127, called The Gateway Destination, was Beer Town. So Beer Town are a restaurant chain, I guess, essentially, like a small owned, it's not like some massive chain. They have about 10 locations, I believe, throughout Ontario, primarily the main ones in Waterloo, I think. And we had Jen Tamsey on, and she was such a wonderful human being.
Oh yeah,
so knowledgeable. I fucking love that. We both did, man. It was such a thoughtful pod, and we got to have the Sawdust and Third Moon collabs, all four of them. So Bone Tree, Lone Tree, Bone Pine, and just I it's kind of in the back there, but I kept all the beers here at the cans because I'm just like, it's just so dope. It's so cool because I love Sawdust, love Third Moon. And I'm like, fuck, this is brilliant. They sent us the menu so we could really understand it. It was just so cool. You had been there before at the time of the pod. Yes. I hadn't. So Tiff and I went over the summer to the Burlington one, not to the one where Jen was, so we didn't reach out or anything. It just had a great experience. Just had a couple of beers and an app. I'm like, man, it was sick. I think I had a town beer that I'd been wanting to try. Mm-hmm. And of course I got Bone Tree on tap, which is always there. And I just wanted to try it because I hadn't had it on tap before, and it was exquisite. It was just such a great conversation. I would love to have Jen back on this year. It was
my god, I would do that again in a heartbeat.
Anytime. It was just like, and everybody that we speak to, whether it's Bebo at Third Moon or Sam at Sawdust, even Rob at Short Finger, I know is good friends with her. Like, everybody in the industry just loves her because she fucking loves beer and she cares, and because she cares so much, that's why Beer Town's list is curated so wonderfully and so thoughtfully. Yeah. She was explaining the kitchen, even the small little apps we had. It was just like a Sunday afternoon we went by and just wanted a quick snack, and even just the small app was just so tasty, and it was just a great experience, man. And it's like, we called it the Gateway Destination because that's really what it is. It allows people who are maybe new at a craft beer to come in and they could have something simple on tap, but they could also have Third Moon. And it's not scary. It's not pretentious. It was just normal ass people there. There wasn't like beer nerds around and stuff. There were just people going to a cool place to have a drink and some food. And
exactly, it's the kind of thing where, and like I'll say what I said when we were talking to her is that when I go to Burlington and there's a beer town in Burlington, that's the kind of place that I don't that I don't get nervous about bringing my parents to if we're going out for dinner, and my parents aren't drinkers. So gotcha. So I of course have an absolute blast there, and my parents were raving about how good the food was afterwards, and they had a great time too. They didn't feel intimidated. My son, who was only just over a year old at the time, it was even comfortable to have him there too. So things like that, it's just a good place to be.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. So definitely check that pod out. That was episode 127 for Beer Town. Nathaniel, I guess I'm up. I was really thought I'd be able to drink all of these beers in between each thing, but I guess not. Getting a bit antsy there. So this brewery have been on every single year. Let me just triple check. It would be ridiculous if you're not. Yeah, of course.
Oh, they definitely have. You don't even have to check.
Yeah. If I don't even need to say anymore. Third Moon, guys.
Third Moon.
The fucking best. What do I say that people don't already know? I mean, I feel like they are going from strength to strength every year. They have they're coming up on their 4th anniversary in May. Same as Sankey and Baron in the second week of May.
Yep.
And just, bro, I'm so fucking proud of those dudes, man. I got to try one of Bebo's beers via Noah when he won a homebrew competition and got to do a collab with Great Lakes in the end of 2019. And Noah hooked me up. I didn't know who he was. And then Noah's mate Derek, who I got to hang out with as well, he was good friends with them, so he got some of their homebrews or test batches in the Bellwoods kind of brown bottles, the 500ml bottles, and I was trying that. I was like, what the fuck is this? How would it? What? I couldn't believe how good it was, and just the way they really rallied the community behind them to get that brewery going, and then now looking at where they're at, nearly 4 years later, some of the haze it's floating on a cloud. It's just incredible. This one here is the Observation series where they do single hop. This is called Paradisi, which I haven't actually had. It's freestyle, so it's New Zealand hops, which is amazing. Oof, smells amazing. They're just, their haze is A1. Their stout game is disgusting. They've been doing so much barrel stuff recently as well. I tried some of their barley
And
wine.
oh my god. Okay, so their barley wine stuff is no slouch, and I got to give particular props to Time Takes Time, which is which is their series of stout barley wine blends, which is the newest thing on the scene that I'm loving to see from the small handful of breweries that have been doing it. I had the bottle of Time Takes Time Volume 2 that I picked up when we were at Durand over the holidays.
Yes.
I had that while I was at my parents'. It was insane.
Fuck, I haven't cracked it
It
yet.
was
I'm
so fucking good.
I'm not surprised.
It was so fucking good, and that's the one that
yeah.
also has that also has, I think, coffee and vanilla added to it as well. It was just wild, bro.
Was it from the same batch?
I don't think so. I think this was this was a separate batch.
A whole nother blend, whole nother thing. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
That's amazing.
And there were things in there that I was tasting that I couldn't believe. Like, it was even there were even elements of like baking spice in it. Like, I was tasting things like cinnamon and nutmeg, things that were that weren't even in it. Just the character that developed out of that was wild. We're gonna keep talking. I just need to change my camera battery, but
you're good.
But we'll keep it rolling. But like, Time Takes Time is fucking spectacular. So yeah, like super big props for their barrel program. It's it's insane.
It truly is. The barrel program is crazy, and you're right. That would be, if I had to. This isn't part of what we decided on to talk about, but like, if I had to say like a style of 2023 for me, would be the barley wine stout blends. It was something I'd had 3 or 4 times. I had one from fucking the Legends at Godspeed. They did one where they did the Judiciel.
Yeah, that was the one. That was the one that I was telling you as soon as I had it. Like, you need to fucking have that immediately.
Yes, so I have a bunch of cans of that as well, and I went down, saw Luke, and he gave me a bunch. He's a fucking legend, and I think there was one from Bar Canada that I got from Fred. Shout out to Fred, and it was like a short can, like a little 355. And that was amazing. And then Time Takes Time. And then I think I got a couple others in the cellar there. And it's just so good. So Third Moon's like, the stout game has been crazy. Yo, one thing they don't get enough props for is their crispy game. So Kills Pilsner, I feel like, has got better and better and better. I feel like the first batch was decent, and then everything from there has just gone up and up and up. I've had their dry hop version, the Ruwaka one. They did a Chardonnay barrel aged one, which was fantastic. It was damn near like a farmhouse. I just bought today their black lager version that just came out. So I'm excited to try that. It's just, they're out of control. Like, Third Moon are truly, like, there's nothing that they haven't been able to nail as far as the styles. So super impressed with everything they've been doing. Oh, not to mention the slushies. And actually there they have the slushy machines that are fucking great. Their Epoch series, like, I had one of their, like, it was like mango, coconut, pineapple, and something else. I had that on the weekend, on New Year's Day, I think, actually. And it was straight mango. It was just crazy. It's just, everything they're doing is so exquisite and so well done. Like, even the other day I grabbed they did like an oatmeal stout, like a 6.5% oatmeal stout with coconut. And I'm super excited for that because that's like, I love those.
The Serpentiers.
Yeah. I grabbed that one as well. It's just, I don't know, man. Third Moon are just such a brilliant, wow, there's such an interesting smell. I feel like I've got like some sort of like allergies. I feel like I'm a bit congested, but I can still smell it through this shit. It's phenomenal. I'm so impressed with everything they've been doing and working through. Obviously, it's a real hard time in craft beer, so this is extra props to everybody involved in all this shit because it's not easy to be making beer right now. So Third Moon, just disgusting, killing the game. We're due for another pod. Hopefully, got something coming up soon because that nearly 4 hour 45-minute odd pod was our record, and Nathaniel, I think we're up for it. We're up for the challenge.
It might kill me, but I'm still up for it.
I feel like we could start it a touch earlier, perhaps, just in case.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
I'm ready for the marathon, bro.
I might have to like make an arrangement with my like with my wife. Just let her know that it might like that it might be a late one, and see if she's okay with letting me sleep in when and take care of our young one the next morning. I just feel like that's going to be smart to prepare in advance for that.
I think that would be the move. For the I can't I don't know if I can see it going any other way. It's not like we have a choice in the matter.
No.
And I want you to be. I want you to experience it.
I just can't see that one, like coming up to like 2.5 hours. And like, okay, so we good? Yep. Okay, let's wrap it up. Like, I just don't think that's gonna happen.
It won't. We're probably gonna have to bring snacks. Maybe even a little a bottle to piss in, because I guess we can always press pause. But goddamn, it's going to be hectic. But yeah, man, shout to Third Moon, just impeccable. So well deserved. There is not. I don't foresee a top 10 in Ontario without them on it.
No, I don't. No, I can't imagine
under any circumstances. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Next honorable mention, Nathaniel.
Next honorable mention. So this here, best new brewery, and this is one that we had on the pod a couple months ago as well. I suppose from complete inception, not brand new, but brand new in terms of their physical space. It's only been little more than a year. This is going to Toronto. We're talking True History Brew.
So well deserved.
Absolutely mad props to these guys, and this was such a good pod.
Oh my gosh. I haven't laughed that hard all fucking year, bro.
Oh my god! I thought you were gonna die. Like you were like doubled over. Yeah.
Please watch the pod.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little more in one of the next things here. But just an absolutely spectacular brewery. In you'd never thought you'd never think it could get better in terms of lager focused breweries in Ontario, especially when you've got breweries like Godspeed and Tooth and Nail, kind of already doing some of the best stuff that you can imagine in the scene. But True History, this was one that I had only had a handful of their beers before we had them on the pod. I was really, really impressed, but that had been maybe 6-7 months before, something like that, and then we had them on, and what I had then had certainly improved even more since then, and just the absolute meticulous attention to detail that they have with German and Czech lagers is absolutely mind blowing.
Oh yeah.
And I'm dying to get down to their tap room, with that Lucre Tower, and to get a Maliko pour of absolutely everything they have there.
I wonder if we could do it next time you're down, because I'm on the way, so I'll just come by, pick you up, and then we just fucking cruise on down.
Well, I think we're gonna have to make it happen, because I'm dying to get down there. I'm
excited for it.
I'll shout out the beers that we had on there, and you know which ones I'm going to be talking about here. But the two in particular that blew my mind the most, it's the Fest beer and the Marzen, which were just exceptional. And it's one of those things that I think they're the sorry, I need to say it the way Matt says it was like Mertzen or something like that. Matt's pronunciation was perfect.
We're not German, bro. Relax.
Yeah. But I think they are the only brewery in Ontario that I'm aware of that distinguished between a Fest beer and a Mertzen and made both of them.
I don't recall.
I'm fairly certain I can't think of anyone else who's done both of those before and actually been able to distinguish between the two. It's exceptional.
Godspeed, but I don't think so.
I don't think so. Because they do Nonbe. They're Fest beer, but I don't think they've ever labeled one as a Marzen before.
I think you're right.
Although I'm sure they could if they if they wanted to.
Yeah.
But in any case, they've been open in their physical space a little more than a year now. The beers are unreal good, and I can't recommend them highly enough.
I think that was the
like,
second
for best
pod.
new brewery, unquestionable.
Yeah, unquestionable. And that was the second pod after Flux that we had 6 shorties that not a drop left.
Mm-hmm.
That was just, and it was just so funny. I mean, Adam and Matt were just such good dudes, and
Oh my God,
the
yeah.
clip. If you check the clip, like the that we did, I still think of it and just giggle. I don't want to spoil it, but
That was
definitely go
only-
check it out.
And that clip was only just the start of how hard Craig was laughing in that episode.
Oh yeah,
that
I
was
had to
only
cut
just
it.
the start. Yeah,
It was, yeah, like you said, we'll get to it,
He-
but
he's like falling off his chair. It's insane.
it hadn't happened for a while, and it's one of my favorite things when something dumb and random happens and you just like die and you just can't control yourself. It doesn't happen to me that often, and it was just it was so good. So that, you know, it made you like him. You're already enjoying the beers, and they're just so well made. And I know they just did a tap takeover somewhere, Arabella Park, I think, with Godspeed.
Oh yeah.
With Godspeed. I mean, look, that's already says a lot, right? That they're doing that level of quality, and then, you know, Bim and the team are willing to do a double takeover. I mean, that's big props. So I mean, they're one to watch. Moving forward, I would say if they're not in next year's top 10, I will be very surprised.
Same.
Yeah, beautiful. Alrighty, so we've done the first 5 of the Ontario. The top 10 breweries in Ontario for 2023.
We
Nate,
have.
ready for the 6th one? Once again, no order, just
I am.
throwing them out there.
That's right. Okay, so next up, to Niagara Falls counterpart.
Let's go.
So this is again
about it.
another case where I'm going super fresh with with the beers that I've got.
It's
this
okay.
is part this is part of their Zombie Surprise series, and this is one of their Halloween releases. Not the and we're recording now on January 4th, so it's a couple months old. Not the not the freshest one I could have picked, but you know, that's where we are. So this is a Zombie Surprise smoothie sour with raspberry, blueberry, soft serve ice cream, and vanilla.
This was so good.
So we're going for a dessert beer.
Oh yeah,
halfway through.
I remember picking that up right after we did the OCB. We did the talk that day, and I went straight by afterwards. And Greg linked me all of the beers a day before. So I made sure I kept that bad boy cold for you. So as long as you kept it cold, I don't see a problem. I've had Mortalis smoothies like a year or 18 months old, and they were fine. So I think it's
Yeah. I did indeed keep it cold. So.
Okay, I knew you would have. Counterpart in 2023.
Oh, look at that color.
Oh, it's beautiful. Look how beautiful it is. Look at that beautiful bright red. If you're listening, check the YouTube, because look at that fucking. Oh yeah, let's go. Counterpart. I don't know about you, bro, but for my Ontario best discovery of Ontario of 2023, granted they were turned 4 in early 2023. By the time we did the pod, so they were damn near 4 years old. I'd heard about them forever. Easily my favorite 2023 discovery of Ontario.
Yeah.
I'd been there,
I would say
fortunately, probably like 6 times now. I'd taken friends there. I've taken my mother-in-law there. Tiff and I go there whenever we're in the region. I'm like, any excuse, I'm like, let's go past Counterpart real quick. Like, anytime. It's just the best. Every time I go there, Greg happens to be there. He's just such a cool guy. The food is out of this world. Like, it truly, truly is. The barrel-aged stouts, like their Chaos program, is bonkers. They still got the bottles at Durand. I almost bought it today, but I was like, I need to get it because I don't want to miss out. But no one had bought them since, so I'm like, okay, I got another week or something. But their barrel-aged stouts are crazy. The haze is insane. I'm like
insane, and
I'm like mad.
Not nearly talked about.
Not
enough.
even, and that's the point. I feel like it's so good that why hasn't somebody shoved it down our throats enough? Like, people should be screaming from the rooftops about how good the beer is. Their Fest beer, Winds of Change, was phenomenal because it was around the time.
Yeah.
I drank the Fest beer from on draft there, and I bought some to go, which I never do. It was that good, and it was just. Yeah, man.
But yeah,
I love the place.
Their Krispies are wild. Their Krispies are wild. Like pure, their pills. It's exceptional.
For their extra pure, I think it was a collab with Sun and Hill for the
Yeah.
the anniversary, the 4th anniversary was
that
so
one was
incredible.
Nuts. That was nuts. Yeah.
I think the anniversary is it February? Was the anniversary? I got a feeling.
I don't remember.
I'll text Greg and check in because he's just such a good fucking guy. I'm just like they're doing collabs with everybody. They're just
yeah. Again, this is one like another one that collabed with with Fine Balance on their anniversary beers. This was Triple Pop, that one, like the triple IPA, and that one was Andrew's favorite, as he said.
Hell yeah, yes. I mean, triple's not my fave, but you could tell that shit was a phenomenal beer, like dangerously drinkable for 10%. Yeah, man. I just feel like everything they're doing and they do a bit of a breadth as well, so they do have some other stuff, but I feel like their Krispies, their Haze, their Stouts, and even the smoothies are just truly spectacular stuff. And then the experience of the brewery is so cool. It's cozy in the winter, it's bomb in the summer. They got a big patio. It's always a vibe. The servers are so nice. I feel like we've seen the same people every time we go there, which means they're retaining a lot of staff, which is a good sign. Everybody seems always in a good mood. The food is just so impeccable, and like Greg said on the pod, if you got to check that out, that the people sometimes come there not even knowing that they're a brewery. They just come because they hear the food's good, and it's phenomenal. The chicken sandwich, insane. Like every time I go there, it's just so fire. It's just so good. Yeah, it's got to be my favorite discovery of the year, and this is their first appearance. Yes, it is indeed their first appearance on the top 10. I can't see them going anywhere, bro. Like it's almost like I always look for an excuse to go down. I was like, they were dropping those stouts. I was like, if Duran doesn't get them, I'll just go down there and get it. And Duran got it. So
I remember that you and I were saying when we were chatting with Greg on the podcast earlier this year, we're like, it's criminal that we've gone this long and not had them on the top 10 already.
We said that on the pod? Oh yeah, so we made it wasn't even like a question.
You and I were texting to each other probably during the pod, saying like, how the fuck have we not had them on the top 10 yet? And like how have we been sleeping on this for so long?
Isn't that? I think it's almost like a beautiful thing if you look at it. Like, isn't that so cool that there's some hidden gems in Ontario that is that good that it not only makes the top 10, but like I've been there like 6 times this year. Like honestly, it's like there's two things. Next time you're in the area, do we go to Toronto and go to True History, or do we go an hour the other way and go to Counterpart? Because it's different experiences, but
like, and how
do you choose?
My God.
It's like, well, you do one time, one another time, but it's not like you're here all the time. You're only here a handful of times a year. So like, it's I can't express it enough. And there are a bunch of other breweries in the area, and I think there's some great stuff. It's just for my tastes, and obviously I feel like I could comfortably speak for you as well. Like there's nothing that's quite. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm hiccuping. I had like 2 beers. There's nothing that quite touches it in the region, particularly in Niagara Falls. Keep in mind, it's Niagara Falls. It's not Niagara on the Lake like Oast and Exchange and all that. It's Niagara Falls. Like it's straight off the same street. Like when we went to the OCB, the same street as the convention center. You just fucking keep going and you end up at Counterpart. So it's like very easy to get. It's like 5 minutes from like Niagara Falls proper, like the main part of town, and it's so convenient. And I know even when we went there, I saw people before the Canada Beer Cup. I saw a bunch of people there. I didn't really talk to anyone, but I saw John Romano from Nickelbrook. He didn't know who I was at the time because we hadn't had the pod yet. But I saw people there just eating and drinking and chilling. I was like, of course, if that's where the conference is, that's where everyone's going to be at. So it was, such a huge fan. And the fact that Greg is such a champion and has been so cool and welcoming every single time we've been down there since makes it even better. And I just want to like clear out your fridge. Give me give me 2 of everything. 1 for me, 1 for Nate. Every time I'm just like, it's the same thing. There's like, if you're in Quebec and you can get Le Catch, get me that shit, don't ask me. And I feel like it's the same thing for you. If I'm a counterpart, you're just like, don't even ask, just get it all.
100%. 100%.
Brilliant and well deserved.
I also got to say too, like, props to Greg. I think of all of the interviews that we've done together, he is probably the one who has gone the hardest during any of our podcasts. Just like, you and I being all being all careful with like, okay, so we're gonna have like half of each of these ones, and Greg is like, oh really, you're only drinking half? I've done like I've been like bottoming my glass the entire time, and like every single beer, and he's just going hard.
He was beasting it. He really was.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how the fuck he's.
Oh man, I just remembered now. Actually, like now that I'm saying that was another one. And I forget which pills it was that we started with. I feel like it wasn't pure.
No, it wasn't.
It must
it was
have been
the
something
Kolsch.
different. But
it was the Kolsch.
Yes, it was the Kolsch. Yes,
the
Kolsch. That's right. Oh my god, that
was the best Kolsch's.
That was another one that, like, as soon as I took a sip, I'm like, oh my god, my mouth is so dry. I need to take another sip immediately. Like, I downed that thing in like 10 minutes, man. It was so fucking good. Oh god, that Kolsch! I remember best, I think that's the best Kolsch I've had in years.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. It was so fucking good. Yo, let's get Greg on the pod again, like in the next few months.
Yeah,
this is getting me fucking amped for it. I'm like, god damn it! I'm gonna text him right now. Like, Greg, jump on. Where are you at? Here's the code. It was very cool, man, and I'm very grateful for that this year. It's very cool. And it's even cool to see that turnaround that we had him on in February, March, whatever it was. And then, that was it. And then the fact that I was able to get us both those beer, and you were able to get some of the stuff out your way too, fortunately. But we had to go down there so many times. And it was every time we were in Niagara for wine, I was like, we got a fucking counterpart, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, it was an excuse, and Tiff was like, fine, all right, let's go. I'm such a huge, and every time we're there, Tiff's always like, he's such a big fan of you. He won't shut up about your beers. I was like, chill, fuck me. You're making me look like relax, man. You have to tell him this. Jesus. He's like, yeah. I like the pod too.
Got like he's got a wall with your pictures on it, and like a map with red thread, like keeping track of your location.
Wherever Greg's at.
Just so sweet.
It's just off camera. Thanks, Tiff, for embarrassing me. And with that, Nathaniel, the next podcast, the Top Pods.
Next podcast.
Very conveniently, just as the best new brewery was True History, the best, one of our favorite pods of 2023 was The Milkmen with episode 152 with the boys from True History. Like we said, dying on the pod. So fucking funny. We were on for like 3.5 hours, I think. I think it was pushing 4 almost.
It was one of the longest ones of the year, if not the longest of the year for sure.
I think you're right. And it was just, beers were exquisite. Conversation was gold.
It was just one of those cases of like, it was just a good hang, and one of those conversations that you just never want to end. It was so much fun.
Facts. Adam came down, so we had connected briefly when they were contracting through my brother, who he told me that they met in line at the LCBO. Like, I thought my brother met them at some sort of like beer event, because my brother used to work for Lost Craft. He's worked for a bunch of breweries, so I thought he met them proper. But he's like, oh yeah, and I met this guy. They're doing this contract beer called True History and blah blah blah, and yeah, he came down to Hamilton and we hung out at Duran for like 2 hours and had a coffee. We didn't even drink because it was 1 o'clock or something. And yeah, man, he was just such a G. And we just hung, and I was like, soon as we met up, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a good time. This guy's fucking great. And obviously, like you said, the best way, that's what I always hear the comedians describe it as, like just a good hang. It was just such a great hang. The 4 of us were just laughing the whole time. The beers were spectacular. Obviously, Nate and I are rock solid for all things crispy, particularly the Mertzen and the Fest beers and stuff, and that's what they delivered. And like, such a big fan. Like you said, I'm moist to get down there to actually get into that Luca Tower, but the pod was just so much fun. So if you're looking for like a real fun one, like we talked about some serious shit, but we just had some laughs, man. It was that's what we're here for, right? To talk about beer, but get lit and have some laughs. It was definitely one of my favorites of the year, easily.
If you're the kind that listens to the pod and kind of just feels like you're hanging with friends having a beer, like this is an episode for you.
Yeah
Yeah,
the epitome of that. It really, really, truly was. Definitely going to be an annual thing that we'll keep that going with the boys, and I'm really excited to see them thrive. We want
to keep track of what of how they're doing and what they're up to.
Yeah, absolutely. And just I don't know. I feel like we only met them for that, and I feel like proud of them. Even though we don't know them like that, I just feel like it's just so cool that and the fact I saw, like, I knew they mentioned that they were doing stuff with Godspeed and just having these events and stuff. I'm like, it's just so cool to have, like, maybe a bit more of an OG. I mean, bro, Godspeed calling OG from like 2017 or something really isn't OG as such, but you know what I mean, like a really highly respected.
But like for the pedigree that Godspeed has, like that cosign means something.
Exactly, and for them to be so young and receiving that, I think really means a lot. And I've spoken to numerous people who have been there or go there regularly, and they like are emphatic about how good it is. And I was like,
yeah,
all right, bro, I feel you. And you and me, I feel like we're just converted in that pod. Even if it wasn't personally with them, for them just being good, funny ass dudes and just great at about what they're doing. They're just good ass humans, man. So that was a really fun pod. Once again, that's episode 152 called The Milkmen. Alrighty, next one, Nate. Oh gosh, there's so much good beer. I just feel like I'm gonna finish all of this tonight.
Oh yeah. You're just gonna be fucking ripped.
I don't give a
but
shit.
Like just do it. Just do it.
Fuck. Now, this one, very dear to my heart. A brewery that was episode 26 of the original podcast back in 2016. Just wonderful human beings, some of the best in Ontario for a decade plus. This is Sawdust City, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get that clap. There we go. And this year was extra special for Sawdust. We had him on the pod. I don't remember what episode it was, but we did a great pod with Jimbo, Brendan, and Sam. And we also did Get It In Ya version 2.0, 5.5 years later from the original. And this is my last can. This was canned in August, and the funny thing about this beer, keeps getting better, Nathaniel.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear. I sent a can out to Guillaume from the Catch, and he just got into it maybe 2 weeks ago, and he was telling me it was ripping,
which is hilarious because that should not be.
Should not be. It's a 4-month-old beer.
Yeah, it was canned in August. And it's just like, I guess, like the original, the way they hopped it, whatever they're doing, it's... Oh, my camera battery died. Let me just change that out. Yeah, man, they really nailed it. This one, all Aussie hops. They put Tiff and I on the cover, on the label, which was nice. And we kept it similar to the original. We just switched up a hop. We switched out, I think it was Ella for Eclipse, because Ella, I don't know. I don't think it's the most fire hop. We want to give it a bit more. I think Ella has a little bit more what do you call it, like herbal kind of things. We didn't really want that vibe.
That's also kind of one that has kind of been forgotten about. I don't think I remember the last time I heard about Ella
Nathan, right? Here. Yeah, it's definitely not the most common thing in a while.
Fallen out of favor, perhaps.
Yeah, I think it did, and I think there's a lot of. Honestly, I think the Aussie hops have been eclipsed, pun intended, from by the New Zealand hops, the freestyle hops. It just, if I'm really honest, I want to be biased, but you can't. Nobody can touch these New Zealand hops. Like nothing
Oh
is
my
coming.
God.
Not like it's like nothing is
Especially,
coming. Say it.
especially the freestyle right now. It's just
But what's the goat hop? You know what it is.
the goat hop is peacherine.
That's fucking right. Peacherine is the best hop on the market right now. Close second, I would probably say, is Nectaron. It's just incredible. And so obviously we wanted
I would say Moteca is in there like neck and neck for me. Like Moteca has had such a resurgence with with freestyle lately.
yes, Motek is amazing. Yeah, man, it's just New Zealand hops are killing it. But yeah, we want to really represent for Aussie hops. So, like, look, they got some work to do overall, but there is some great ones out there. But look, I mean, look, that's this beer, but Sawdust, man. As you and I know, I mean, they're doing some really fun stuff. I mean, they're doing gateway stuff. They're doing, like their Kolsch and like the Golden Beach. I think it's a pale ale.
Yep.
Obviously, Lone Pine, one of the best West Coast IPAs, year-round IPAs in the province. It's disgusting.
Yep. And the
Norway.
I'm gonna say it again and again and again and again. Like, props for being one of the most accessible West Coast IPAs in the province. And
very meaningful.
And one of the best to boot.
Easily. It's just incredible. It's just such a phenomenal beer. I can't say enough, and Sam is just such a G. Everybody loves Sam. You can't hate Sam. I don't even know.
Everybody in the scene loves Sam.
And how does he stay so skinny?
My God, he is he must be the skinniest person I've ever seen in the beer industry.
Easily, he's just he's such a funny cunt. I love Sam. He's just himself, and I feel like he's never been anything different. I've known him since 2016, and that's what's that, like 8 years? That is insane.
Yeah, man.
It's just, I don't know. I just have like the biggest soft spot. Like I was drinking their beers long before we met them, and just the fact he came down, it just meant a lot to me even back then. I think we must have said it on the pod. He came down from Gravenhurst to Bar Hop in Toronto and Peter Street, and we drank the beer and we filmed the pod there. And the fact that he just did that when he was hungover too, came down for it and stuff. I'm like, you didn't know us from shit. We had it was episode 26. We had nothing going on, man. Like, and the fact he came down for that, I just never forget it. And then, he was our first can collab that we ever did, and, put our faces on the can, and just, I don't know, he really just, held us down always. So I just have, such a soft spot for the whole team, and seeing Jimbo still there, and a lot of the same people, and I don't know, it's just cool. It's such a warm, welcoming pub, and the food is great. The Crispies are phenomenal.
Because I mean, this wasn't always the case, but they've now got their own in-house food there. And I've had it there this year, and it's excellent. It's so really good. Really good.
Yeah, man. Just impressed overall with everything that they do. Like, I don't have a bad word to say about it. And to me, this is what was cool to me, I think, about Sawdust. They've been around for what, it's more than 10. It's probably 11, 12 years, something like that.
Something like that, yep.
We mentioned the Beer Town pod earlier, where they did the Lone Pine, Bone Tree, Bone Pine, Lone Tree. And the fact that and that's not the only one they did. They did the Orchid of Change and I forget the name. The Third Moon did the IPA, and Sawdust did a Baltic Porter to match it. And Sam gave me one of the Baltic Porters, and when we did this beer, and I was so stoked to get it, even though it was like a year and a half after the other one, I still got to try it. And just how thoughtful that collab was between those two, and just the fact that they keep working. Third Moon are one of the most hyped breweries in the province, if not the country and beyond. And the fact that they've done so much together just shows, I think it's so dope that Bebo and Chris are just so in awe of Sawdust, but also that they have the chops. Don't fucking count them out, bro. Juicing is for. I had it on tap there when we did this in. I think we brewed it in July, and it was exceptional. Having it on tap, it's just peach juice. It's fucking crazy, and that's 6-year-old recipe, or whatever. It came out in 2016. More
also,
7-year-old.
And even just talking the collabs, I think Bone Pine might be one of my favorite hazies that I've had all year.
Okay.
But
I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie. And it was a little old when we had it, but you had it fresh, right?
I mean, it was old when we had it on the like on the Beer Town pod with Jen, but I had it on tap at Sawdust, and like that is one dank IPA, and I love me a dank IPA. It was
Fuck
so
yeah.
fucking good.
And that was the sawdust side, right? That was the white can?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
correct.
Like, I really feel like they're just underrated with what they do with the haze. Everyday Magic was so fucking
Everyday
good.
Magic.
And then the binary system series.
Oh yes, Binary System 2.
I mean,
Man,
like,
like
you can't dismiss them in the conversation of some of the best
this
haze, bro.
this is a top hits this is a top hits list right here.
They're just incredible, and I feel like they kind of don't get the props because they're in Muskoka and because they do a lot of gateway stuff. Then perhaps they get fronted on for their maybe more hype stuff. But Jesus, Lord in heaven, they do some exquisite stuff, and I just feel like they really deserve the props for what they're doing there, man.
I think so too.
It's just A1. We're both such huge fans, and they absolutely deserve the top 10. Like, there's no question about it.
Absolutely, no question.
Which is phenomenal. So, with that, the next
Yes.
honorable mention, sir.
Yes, and even though it's my turn, I'm going to have you do this one because this is one that you experienced directly, which I didn't. So I think we should change it up for.
And
this
then
one.
you can do the pods. Okay, I like that. Oh, that's cool because the next bottle shop probably makes sense for me too.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is our honorable mention for the best discovery of 2023, and that is Sparrow Brewing in Cambridge, Ontario. So like I alluded to earlier, I'd somewhat heard of Sparrow, and they've been around for a number of years, by the way, so this is definitely behind as fuck. And I was in Durand a few weeks ago, and I was like, I saw Sparrow in there. I'd seen him in there before, and I kind of paid it no mind, whatever. And I was looking for some haze. I just wanted to stock up on haze. And I'd had all of the Badlands, and I think I'd had all of the Third Moon. So I'm like, which is my go-to brewery. So I was like, okay, I need to expand my horizons a bit. I'm like, well, Chris, the owner of Durand, who curates the beer fridge, I'm like, well, I just trust him. He's not going to get anything that isn't fire. And they had Sparrow in there. So I bought one of the beers. They had three. They had a Vienna lager, they had an IPA, and like a pale ale. So I grabbed the IPA, and I had the IPA. I was like, what the fuck is this? It was so good. I was pissed. I was like, what is it? Same thing as Counterpart, man. I was like,
Yeah.
what? If I drink something that's so good that isn't new and that nobody was talking about, I'm like, what is happening? This is insane. So I posted about it, and I got chatting with I guess it must be the owner of Sparrow who was running the social, and they were telling me that Matt from Barncat was working there now. And I was like, oh, because I couldn't find the hops. They don't put the hops on the beer, on the can, on the website, or on Untapped. So I couldn't find anything. Or maybe it wasn't
even on Instagram or
Instagram, Untapped, or anywhere else I could see. Someone told me afterwards that it was, maybe they said it was on the website, and that I didn't even think about checking that. So they told me the hops. I was like, okay, cool, thank you. After I'd already posted the review. And that's when they told me about Matt. I was like, yo, okay. So I went back like the next day and bought the other two beers, the Vienna Lager and the other Pale Ale. And super impressed. I haven't seen them in Durand. Like, I was there Durand today. I hadn't seen them since, because I would buy anything from Sparrow now. Absolutely. So I don't know what it is. Maybe they don't just distro like much. It's just here and there or something. But I was just super, super, super impressed. And obviously having Matt from Barncat as the brewer is a very large pull. And once again, in Cambridge. So I just want to go down. I don't know how far Cambridge is from here. Probably like 45 or something. But it makes me really, really want to get down. Yeah, max, right? Okay. Because I think Kitchener was something like that. So yeah, I just want to check it out. I was just so impressed. The branding was great, but like just the haze was just phenomenal. So they have a full tap room and everything, and I think they got food. So it seems like a place where you can go, have a meal, have some beers, and just soak it up. So to me, that was the best discovery because it was random. I mean, aside from Counterpart, because I feel like Counterpart was like, they've both probably been around similar times, but Counterpart was earlier in the year. I guess Sparrow was later in the year, and Counterpart made the top 10. So I don't know if it really was really fair to give him two different awards, honorable mentions, you know. But yeah, I feel like just Sparrow. I'm excited as fuck to see what they're doing next year, because if Barncat only stopped in like July, August, that means Matt hasn't been working there too long. So
That's right.
they're just scratching the surface with what they can do right now. So they're only going to get better. So I'm very, very excited personally to see what they're going to get up to next year. Sorry, this year. We're in that sort of phase where you say this year, next year. In 2024, I'm very excited to see what they're going to do. So you have not tried them, is that accurate?
I have not tried them yet.
Okay. Next time they do have stuff, I'll get stuff for both of us.
Yeah.
It's man, very, very it's just cool. It's cool to know. I mean, like you said earlier, when you were mentioning like sort of the areas that it's gonna pop, and like Cambridge, you know, Cambridge got some shit going on, bro. Like there's a lot of great stuff happening out there. So I'm excited. I feel like we need like a weekend just in Cambridge, not even in other cities, like just Cambridge to check it all out, like Farm League and Wavemaker and Sparrow.
Definitely. And they're a roastery too.
Yo, I saw that. And obviously you and I are fucking rock solid for coffee. So, I mean, like...
Yeah, man.
Let's go. Yeah, man. Which is perfect because you can go there, have your coffee, have some food, and then you can move straight into the beers. It's the perfect situation.
There you go.
Love to see it.
All right.
Nathaniel.
Next up.
Ontario top 10 breweries of 2023. This is the 8th brewery, not number 8 as such, but the 8th brewery that we're mentioning. I have so much beer to drink. Jeez.
And in fact, oh my god, yeah, if we still got 3 more, like, oof. Okay, here we go. So this one, this is last year's 2022 Brewery of the BAOS podcast Brewery of the Year, Badlands Brewing Company.
Goats.
The goddamn legends.
Badlands
Troy Brewing Company
is the best C word going, as we say back home. But I won't say the word.
Best haze in the game. Like, there's no question. No one even comes close. And in the words of Third Moon's Bebo, Troy is brewing the best haze in the world. That came from Bebo's mouth back in the days of
Chinwag.
Back in the days of the Chinwag.
Can I comment on that? This has been fucking me up all year. So I hadn't traveled since 2020. This year, 2023 was the first year I got to travel in a bit, and I did a decent amount of traveling. Obviously, all of it was the States, and I'm not gonna lie. Every single place I went, I pulled up, I grabbed a beer, and I'm like, Badlands is better. Every time. And I had to look at that beautiful owl. I had to get over it, or I couldn't enjoy anything. That's how good Badlands are. I don't think we can express enough how incredible they are at what they do.
For real.
I knew that.
And on a lot of those trips, you came back and got me a bunch of stuff and stuff from breweries that I'd never had before, and like major hype breweries. Like we're talking Trillium, we're talking Treehouse, and a whole bunch of these that I'd never had the chance to taste before, and it was all good. But I feel like if I had beer from these breweries maybe 5 years ago, I would have lost my absolute fucking mind.
Yep.
But now I was like, oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm serious. I'm serious. Like it was not blowing my mind the way I expected it to. And it was things of like, I have had stuff from Badlands that has blown my mind more than this. It's I get Badlands regularly. That blows my mind more than this does. Like, it's good. I'm enjoying it, but it is not making me lose my shit the way it would have 5 years ago, because like we are getting stuff as good or better than that at home right now. And
Facts.
Badlands is and Badlands is one of those sources. Badlands is one of those ones that makes haze regularly that makes me lose my shit. Like when I take a sip of it, I'm like, oh fuck yes,
Every time. Every time.
yes,
It's really hard to get past because it's like a mental block. Like I'd had to
yes.
all right, I'm here in wherever, Miami, in fucking North Carolina, and like whatever. And I'm like, all right, I need to just fucking it's okay. Soak it up. Be in the moment. But I remember the first time in February basically a year ago, was the first time I went across. I was in, look, I wouldn't say where I was, but I went over the border here and went to a brewery that's one of my favorites of all time. And I had the beer, and the very first sip, I remember saying to Tiff, I'm like, Badlands is better. Fuck. But I was like, I had to get past that, or you can't enjoy the traveling, and you kind of have to. It made me realize, the traveling this year made me realize how good things had gotten since 2020 in Canada. Like, just how good. Between Badlands and Third Moon and Willowbold and Counterpart, and there's probably a few others in there that I'm briefly forgetting, but like, Fine Balance, like the Haze, even All My Friends, like stuff like that. I'm like, we have it so good here. So good here. I didn't really have anything that was better. I mean, the closest was probably Burial or Resident Culture in North Carolina, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, we're so lucky. And
even like Fidens or whatnot.
Okay, Fidens was probably, you're right. Fidens was probably the next best thing. And next time, I think about it all the time. I always say to Tiff, it's like, all right, I just want to do a weekend. I want to go to Fidens one day, and then go to Treehouse, and then come back just for a weekend, like a Friday night, and just spend the whole night there and stay in Albany, and then go to Deerfield Treehouse, and then go there, because I went to 2 different ones. So I want to go to Deerfield, stay there, and then come back, and then see what's up. But Fidens was probably the best I had. Treehouse would be a close second, but Fidens would probably be the best as far as American stuff in 2023. I would like to see Fidens back to back with Badlands, and see what the problem was when I was there. There just wasn't much available, so maybe I just picked a bad weekend or whatever. I'd be very curious to see what they would do side by side. But either way, they're just leading the game, man. And it's like, I still feel it's like there's still a bit of a. I mean, they sell out pretty quick. Like, people know, but like, I don't know at scale. Do people know how good Badlands are? Like, is it the same? I feel like probably Third Moon has more hype than Badlands.
I would say so, probably.
At scale, I mean, as far as volume of people talking about it, but Third Moon probably have slightly larger capacity. What about the same? I'm trying to picture the volume of the fermenters.
If I was to guess, I would have said Badlands probably had more capacity just in terms of physical space. But
have you been to Third Moon?
I could be wrong. I've not. I mean, I have, but I haven't really seen the entire
the
depth
back
of the
end.
inside.
Fuck, I'd like to see. Either way, I mean, they're all mates, so it's like whatever. It's not even really.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't at all.
What are we talking about even here?
Yeah, it's crazy. But look, the fact that we've been talking about that, we're just so fortunate, like, in this province, and maybe that was some of the realization I had this year. And I feel like Quebec has some incredible haze as well. So absolutely, but I know.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that next week when we do the Quebec top 10.
That's correct. And it's just been, like, just for that alone, it's just been such a pleasure to be here between Third Moon and Badlands and Counterpart, and even Sawdust with their shit. And, like, there's a bunch of other breweries. There's some that's going to come up, but, Willowboard and Town and Fine Balance. Like, almost all of the breweries that we've had on tonight basically are all, except for maybe Tooth and Nail, all do exquisite, god tier, next level haze.
Yep.
And Badlands obviously dabble in the Crispies, and they dropped a 3-pack of big Imperial Stouts the other week. We met up just before New Year's, and Chris from Duran picked it up for us. But you got some, they got like a 3-pack of different inky stouts with the cute little glass, which is dope.
And I'm glad we got that, because I haven't had any of the previous releases of inky. This is going to be my first taste of it.
Same. I don't think I did either. Didn't they have one in a can?
Of Inky, I don't think so. They've had some of their other imperial stouts in a can, but
But
not.
not Inky, yeah?
But I'm pretty sure Inky has only ever been in bottles.
Okay. So then maybe I missed out on it and I was wanting to, but it's been. I'm just going to double check here, see if I checked into anything. So they've had. Oh, they've had a bunch of them. Okay, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 different ones here on Untapped, and we've got 3 of them. There's like a pink label, a green label, a yellow label with vanilla and almond. 2023. Oh, I think we missed that. That was in the can. Do we not have that?
Oh, it was in
vanilla?
a can. Okay.
So that was in a can, the vanilla and almond one, which is the yellow, and then all the rest must be.
Oh, that's okay. That's sounding familiar right now. I'd forgotten
Isn't
about
it?
that.
What happened? Why did we miss that? What's wrong with us?
Because generally speaking, those don't get out for distro.
There you go. And the pink label, green label, that was probably before our time.
Yep.
Oh, they did like, it looks like they did a 3-pack back in the day of pink, white, and green labels. Okay, because people are like posting all 3. Either way, they're doing that. They're busting out the Crispies as well. I mean, they're doing some really fantastic Crispies.
But really, they advertise themselves as an IPA factory, and truthfully, I don't think anyone in Ontario knows more about hops than Troy does.
No,
It's
hearing him talk
going
about
back. Yes, because we last had Troy on for a dedicated Badlands episode of the pod on in 2022. Which is why we were talking about we're due to have him back. But like to hear him dig deep on hops, like it's basically like you could make ASMR tapes of Troy talking about hops. like that's
it's so good.
That's gonna be a new BAOS release. Is ASMR Troy talks hops. I'm telling you right now. Look for it on. Look for it on Spotify 2024.
Troy, we have to get your permission for that. Get you
sign
off on that.
I've not discussed this with Troy yet, but he's probably going to tell me to fuck off.
Yeah, he'll be down. Anyway, I reckon. Get a few IPAs in him. He'll be good.
All this to say, to hear Troy talk about hops is like nothing else I've ever heard. Like the guy knows his stuff, and you can tell that when you taste the product.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just exquisite. Like, if you haven't, once again, I guess it's kind of like with all these breweries. If you haven't tried them, do an order, ask your local store, or get the fuck down there and try it. The one you're drinking now, Adjunct, which is just a great beer. I mean, they're just all so good. Like, there isn't anything. I'm just like, this is okay. Everything. I'm like, fuck.
No. Truthfully, no one does it better. This is one of those cases that when it comes to haze, no one does it better.
Yeah, it's just, it is what it is. And that was my first thought everywhere else. So once you just know that once you get into Badlands, it's going to be kind of tough. You're not going to be able to get any haze from an LCBO. You're not going to be able to go to your local brewery and get haze and be satisfied. You're going to be ordering that 12 or 24 pack every week. And you're going to be like, that's what I need. And you're going to go to the States and you're like, oh, fuck, I should have brought some Badlands with me. That's what's going to happen. It's an addiction. It's basically the crack of beer.
Yep, that's it.
Sorry, Troy. But that's what it is. And with that, Nathaniel, next top podcast of 2023.
Next top podcast of 2023. This was a special one because we branched out from the typical format of interviewing breweries, and we talked to a bottle shop owner for this one, going to Brewery. This was episode 130 called "We Strongly Dislike Lagers." This was with the Wheeled Brew, with Evan McDonald, the absolute champion.
Such a champ.
Like one of probably the most creative and out there social media presences of any bottle shop in Ontario,
for sure.
He's just such a cool and funny dude, and like that was another really long pod that was
Mm.
that was over 3 hours for sure.
It was such an
And
easy conversation.
oh yeah, a super easy conversation, like just such a friendly dude, and my goodness, did he show up? Like he knew the assignment when like for the lineup that he curated for that one. It was
Spectacular.
wild. In addition to the beers that he picked out and sent us for that, he also arranged a surprise delivery for us
Yes, I got ahead of you. I got
from
ahead of you.
from an additional brewery that he like he didn't have these on hand, but got in touch with the brewery and got them to hand deliver to C and I on the day of the podcast recording from Fogelrig. So we got to like enjoy their stuff on the podcast as well. One of the beers that we had was also a Badlands Wheeled Brew collab, which was super dope.
So cool.
That was a big like Nelson hopped double IPA. It was so fucking good. Yes, additional props. What C was just showing off, and what I had been like drinking out of earlier, Hayes House glassware,
Yes,
which
look at
is
that.
got to be which has got to be the coolest glassware in Ontario.
Everyone
We give
comments
him
every time we post it. Both of us.
yes, yes, it's so fucking cool. He commissioned a local glass blower to make this super creative and innovative glassware. And like I was reading up on before we did the pod with him about how this came about, and he was noticing that a lot of Americans have American craft beer folk have like this really interesting glassware and take cool photography with it or whatnot, and had noticed that there's no one in Canada making glassware like that. So he decided to try to make that happen, and he fucking did it. And that's what Hayes House glassware is. It is
So dope.
made in Canada, super creative, really interesting glassware. Like, and the one that we've got, these are the ones that he sent us, that like this orb kind of vase glassware, and this one that I had bought previously, this wavy
It's
IPA
so
glass
cool.
here.
I need to get that.
It's so fucking cool, and they take it's super photogenic glassware. It's very hefty glassware, so it's nice and solid. You're not going to
Super
worry
solid.
about breaking this as you're washing it, kind of thing, like some other kind of glassware I could mention.
Look, I love this glass, but I've had 4 of them, and this is my last one.
Yep. I've broken at least as many of them.
Yeah.
But yes, so that episode was super fun. Definitely one of the best of the year. Evan is such a champion, and like the Wheeled Brew is definitely unlike any bottle shop in Ontario. And he like the way in which he runs the social media for that place, it's super creative and super fun. It just makes you want to be there.
Hell yeah. I'm excited. I remember we went up to brew, get it in you. And on the way down, it was just like a shit show, like storm that day. And I was like, I'd really love, because you take this 400. So I was like, I'd love to pop past the Wheel Brew, because I think we might have done the pod by then, but we just weren't able to stop. I really wanted to go and actually see it in person and check it out. And it just seems like they're really doing some cool stuff, man. Like, and it's great. They they get all of the stuff. Plus, he has the Haze. Is it called Haze Fest?
Yep.
The event. So he has his Haze Fest with this fun ass shit. He's just doing lots of fun, ridiculous stuff, like truly ridiculous stuff. And like, I support him, man. He's just like supporting breweries, and in a particularly something in Barrie where I don't think there's anything like crazy happening. It's an interesting location to be at, doing all of that type of thing. So really, like, if you're in Muskoka and you need somewhere to go and get all this type of stuff, you can swing down there. If you're in kind of any nearby areas, I don't know that area of the province super well enough, but I feel like it's not far from a lot of places to be able to go and grab all that. So he's really doing a great service for craft beer in the region. Going to get go.
Really making the absolute most of like of what is now allowed with bottle shops in Ontario.
Yeah, absolutely. With the pour, like it's a full bar too, like a full bar.
It is, yes.
It's almost like primarily a bar, really,
Yeah.
arguably. But yeah, super cool. And that is episode 130, called "We Strongly Dislike Lagers," which fortunately is not true, because we were sitting there ready to convince him to like lagers. He's like, no, I'm just trolling. I'm like,
Yeah, it's that was just the tagline of Haze Fest, as like just for some funny shit. It's not not actually not actually hating on loggers.
no,
Evan's a good Evan's a good dude, and if you pop into the Wheeled Brew, tell him Nate and Cee say hi.
Please do. Maybe you'll get you a little kiss on the cheek. You know? Nathaniel, the 9th brewery.
Number 9.
We're doing these one together.
Yes, we are.
I am getting to the point where I am struggling, and I have I have 2 8% beers. Oh gosh, I don't know how I'm going to go tonight. Fuck, Nate. This brewery, I don't know whose turn it is to introduce it. I guess it's both of us. This is a brewery.
Well, I introduced the last one, so why don't you take this one primarily?
Okay, so this is a brewery. This is a brewery out of Toronto, and easily they are the most innovative brewery in the province, I would argue. They do by far the most ridiculous shit. They have no fear when it comes to trying something different, and that is the good lords. Well, let me get my cursor ready. At Rorschach Brewery in Toronto. And this particular beer that Nate and I are both crushing right now is called Naturalis Historia, a double IPA that we did as a collab. When was that? October, November? Something like that?
Yeah, would have had to have been.
I think it's November, because I remember sending my brother down to take the photos, and it was near his birthday.
Yeah.
And this is a West Coast IPA. This was the first ever real West Coast IPA that they had done. They'd done a Westie before, but it kind of just looked like haze, but we got them to do like a clear one. And obviously, if you are watching on YouTube, you will see the label, and the label is influenced, obviously, by one of the goats of Westies. Pliny, wasn't trying to be like a clone or anything like that, but just sort of inspired by that type of style of beer, like that real big piney dank resiny or resinous West Coast IPA. Something that Nathaniel and I are both like passionate about as craft beer drinkers. We love Westies. We felt like there was a bit of a gap in the market in Ontario.
Yep.
For a beer like this, and it was kind of cool to have. We came up with the idea doing the pod with Rorschach, and just seeing, the fact that they are down for ridiculous things, but also they hadn't really done like so it was a bit of a challenge for them, I guess, to do like a clear West Coast IPA that was sort of dank and resinous and piney and grassy and all that stuff. That was the like someone reviewed it here. Okay, I see. Nice. Someone says Rorschach and BAOS come together to pay homage to the legendary Pliny, and it doesn't disappoint. Really nicely executed. The resinous sap-like character is distinct, along with a fresh pine, needle, forest floor, grapefruit rind, and sunflower seed. Wow,
dang,
that's a cool review. Cheers.
Who wrote that?
There's this guy Mitch T, MCT is his name on Untapped.
Okay.
For the amazing review, bro. I'm just going to cheers him there on Untapped, because I always check. But I hadn't seen.
That's a tasting note I've never heard before.
Yeah. This is just like sunflower seed. It's fascinating, right? But yeah, man, this is like something really, really cool for us to do this with Rorschach. Nate and I sort of like worked with Matt and Noel and the team there to come up with the recipe and to fuck with all that shit, and it's beautiful. I'm super happy
Yeah.
with it. But yeah, man, Rorschach killing it. I feel like they've been on. How often have they been on? So Bad Lads has been obviously every year. Rorschach last year, top 10 the year before. Yep, so they've been every year. It's just like, I don't know. We really love Matty. He's such a great dude, but like, they just like, Decadence, their Milk Stout series, 7% Milk Stout series is one of my favorite in the whole province. It's just, they just do some great stuff, man.
They really do.
Really do. And I just feel like they deserve their props. Like, they're a little bit underrated still. Their haze is phenomenal.
Oh, I would say very underrated.
Very underrated, right? Crispies are great. Smoothies are phenomenal. Stouts are fucking like benevolence. They're big, like, big ass stout. Little, they do them in little bottles.
They're big barrel aged ones.
Yeah, they're so good, man. And some of them are like 14% or some shit. Like, they're really hectic, super tasty. Like, I just really feel like they're kind of just doing their own thing quietly. They got their own kitchen there now, so they're doing even like really innovative pizzas and food and stuff. Yeah, cheers, brother. Get that in you. Hell yeah. I feel like this beer's been getting better over time. It's definitely, I don't know about sunflower seed, but it's like so much orange. So much orange on this bad boy.
Yeah. Very much like it's got a big marmalade vibe going on.
Huge marmalade vibe
because it's got quite a bit of sweetness to it, but like the bitter orange peel like coming out combined with that really gives it a big marmalade vibe, which I think really works.
Yeah, agreed. Super great, and it's cool to be able to say like two of our and this is not even biased, but like two of our collab beers made it into the top 10 this year, and it's not like being specifically biased, I don't think, because Sawdust and Rorschach has been every year. We didn't do a collab. Sawdust, was it last year? No, they were a honorable mention last year and the year before.
Yeah, I think this is the first time Sawdust has been in the top 10.
Okay, you're right. So just really cool. I mean, I feel like we chose well, did collabs with just exceptional ass breweries this year.
Yep.
And yeah, man, Rorschach is just we're such big fans. I think we did the first pod with him in 2018. They must have been open in 2017 ish. And my brother's lived around the corner from them most of the time. He's lived at his place, and since they've been open, and always sort of popped around. My mate Scott, who was our old co-host here, he lived around the corner from there for a while. So he used to always pop around and enjoy them and stuff. And, they're just like a really cool neighborhood brewery, that like maybe because they're neighborhood brewery, they don't get the props, but they can everything, and they just do some really fun stuff. And like I said, the food, like the pizzas are very creative. Pizzas specifically are really creative. It's actually making me hungry just thinking about it. I love it all. I love everything they're doing, man. And they're just good cats. Just really good cats, man. And this was sweet. And I hope for them, what I was hoping was like, doing a beer like this with a brewery like Rorschach, who hadn't done one of the clear kind of piney Westies, was that they have now a lane to do a series on, whether it's with us or just themselves. They could just iterate on this and be like, yo, let's, do a 6% version and do something a little different.
I would love to see more from them on this lane.
Yeah, and I told them they could do, usually when we do collabs, if you want to do iterations of it, we can do it together, or you can still keep it as like a, you can tweak it and still keep it as a collab, whatever you want to do. So I should probably follow up with them just to see if they want to do something. I guess it's probably early still, but either way, just makes me happy to see Ontarians have more access to West Coast IPAs, because you and I want to see that more. And, there's only a couple really I think probably 3, like Indie, Nickelbrook, and Sawdust at the LCBO regularly. So aside from going to an individual brewery.
Yeah, see, you said earlier we're passionate about Westies. I would say obsessed.
I feel like there's nary a beer session goes by where either of us rock a Westie. The fact that you did a Westie collab this year with Sankiem, I did one as well with Straya. I mean, it's not really the pod for it. We're talking about Ontario, but we're both doing Westie collabs, and this is another one we did individual ones. This is one we did together with Rorschach.
Yep.
So it's, we just want to see it happening. Quebec, Sankiem have that shit on lock, and there's a few other ones around for sure, but Sankiem are really, really, really dominating there. For here in Ontario, like, no one is like taking over the Westie game. I had a great one from Sankiem this year. Sankiem, Third Moon, over the summer. But otherwise, it's not like super common that people are really dropping Westies like that. I'd never seen Badlands do a Westie. Never seen Counterpart do a Westie. Willowbold. Has Willowbold done one? They actually might do one.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
Good.
In fact, one of the ones that we did with Evan on the Wheeled Brew episode was a triple Westie that that Willowbold did.
What was that called again?
Called Hooch.
There we go.
Appropriately so.
Thank you. Yeah, fuck. Yeah. I remember that being hectic.
Oh,
I apologize. Of course.
Sure.
Okay. I remember that because I think we went there not long after and they did have that beer still.
They did.
So
they did.
That makes sense. But yeah, man. Westies for the win. Rorschach is slaying. Keeping dominating. Love to see it. Yep. So, is it my turn? Honorable mention? It is.
Let me check here. Yes, it is.
An honorable mention. So, this is, I guess you've been listening for the last fucking 2 hours and you already know probably the answer to this one. So, we had the best bottle shop. And look, it's going to be somewhere that is local to you. I know there's probably 3 major ones in the province. And one of those 3 is the one local to me that I go to basically every week, whether it's to get coffee or to get beer. So I have to show love to Durand in Hamilton. Every time I see Chris, I'm like, fuck, bro, we're going to have to get you on this year. And he's like, yes, we have to do it. So you and I met out the front there last week. I was a bit sick, so we didn't get to like sort of hang out properly because it would not be appropriate to do that to anybody. And, I mean, that was your second time there? Third?
I mean, I think it's actually my 4th time there.
Shit.
It's something like that. I mean, I've been, because I've been there at least once with you. And
really? Are you sure?
Yes, because we stopped there and grabbed a coffee before going to before going on the Willowbold and Kitchener run.
Oh, I do recall. Okay.
And I was there at least once by myself when you were down in Florida.
Okay, and then Chris came and saw you. I remember I being pissed. I was like, "Oh man, you guys are hanging out. I didn't get to be there."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Chris was cheating on you while you while you were traveling.
I'm gonna talk to you, Trey.
And I feel like I had been there one more time since then, although I may be making that up. But in any case, I've been there a few times now, and despite and even aside from the times that I've been there, through you, Durand has been my primary source for Badlands and Third Moon for like the last year.
Yeah, that's true. The old parents' mail that we were doing every time your folks come and visit. You're like, all right, pick it up, drop it off, boom, boom. It's all super easy. It's just like when, obviously the coffee is great, which is something that you and I are both passionate about, but and I knew Durand. I went in like 2017 or 18. That's how I knew who they were. So when we decided to move there and I wanted to check it out, we went down there, and I didn't know they had the bottle shop. So the bottle shop obviously was a new thing over the pandemic. The law was changed so that different businesses like cafes and restaurants and bars were able to sell that. They went all the fuck in, and they have a bar now at the back. They didn't have a bar when we moved here because it burnt. It had like some sort of fire on like New Year's Eve or something like before we moved, and took them a year and a bit, and almost 2 years actually to rebuild due to insurance delays. But now it's wide open, killing it out there, and their fridge is just exquisite. Like Chris goes to Badlands, Third Moon every single week to pick up the fresh stuff. Gets deliveries from Willowbold. There's All My Friends, Beer Lab, Wood Brothers, Godspeed, Dominion City, True History, Town, Fine Balance. I may be forgetting some, but I think that's most of it. Just some of the best breweries in the province, really. It's very high, like Sparrow, very highly curated, and Blood Brothers, Bellwood sometimes. Just everything you sort of want. Like he's really thoughtful about what he can get, and
Yeah.
it's just so great, man. Like, look, you do pay a premium, obviously, at an independent bottle shop, but if I was to order from, say, Third Moon or Badlands, like you are going to pay a premium. You are in shipping. You're going to pay the shipping. So then it's like, okay, well, if I only want one can instead of four,
Well,
the
yeah,
amount.
and like on top of the premium for shipping, you're also needing to buy three or four of each thing, which is not an insignificant consideration either.
Absolutely. So for me and for maybe other consumers, I would be happy to pay $1 to $2 premium to just get the one can as opposed to having to buy four cans, because I just personally don't want four cans for the most part. And I'm finding that's something you and I have talked about a lot on here, and I'd love to talk about more this year as far as like, whilst I understand the business need for it, the consumer need isn't always there for a four pack. And when I go to the States for a day trip and all I can get is four pack for the most part, like that drives me crazy, because I'm going to get taxed. If I'm going on a day trip, I'm going to get taxed, and I only got a case. I don't want 6 beers times four. I'd like to have 24 different beers. But you know I found that to be a big challenge, at least in Western New York, to be able to get anything that isn't a four pack. So you have to go to the bottle shops. You can't go to an individual brewery and get that. Like, they're
Hmm.
all four packs. So
Yeah,
something like that, to me, that's worth paying the premium for. I don't mind at
I
all.
agree.
Every time I go, I usually come back with at least an 8 pack. Two four packs. I did that today. Um, Makes me super happy. It's so cool to me, and the fact that he goes there fresh every week, to the fact that last week he did a favor for us. We bought the Inky 3 pack in the glass from Badlands, which they don't ship. So then Chris went there and picked up yours and mine, and then dropped it there. Then we went and picked it up personally, and it's cool as shit to me. I just
Yeah.
think it's really cool, and I want to support them aggressively. And
Hmm.
it's just so dope.
The thing that I really appreciate about it, and it's unfortunately something that I don't have here in Ottawa, which is why the way I get this is through you, is that it's an absolute guarantee that
Guarantee.
every single week, every Badlands release is going to be at Durand. Every single Third Moon release is going to be at Durand.
Yes,
Like it's an absolute guarantee, and that is hard to find.
correct. And it makes it sort of easy, because you're like, hey, bro, here's my list. I'm like, no problem. And like, I'd say 97% of the time, I'm able to get you everything that's on there.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes the only reason I don't get you things is because it hasn't arrived at the time that I go. Because every Thursday, those Badlands, I go at 2 p.m. and that Badlands is there, and the Third Moon is there in the fridge, crispy cold, ready to go.
that's right.
Willowbold ships, so they're not on point always as on time for that week. Same as counterpart, same as some of the other stuff. But at the very least, those two, whether it's bottles or cans, I'm able to grab them bad boys every single week. So
That's right.
it's the convenience of that is spectacular, and I feel like it's just like it's a service to, excuse me, Ontario craft beer. I just think it's really important for the breweries. Imagine being a brewery, and being there now, I'm going to get tooth and nail in there, which is like, for you, obviously that's not a large thing, but for me, that's like, oh, sick, because it's more like,
Yeah,
that's just great, just to be able to pick up a couple cans. I know, having Dominion in there now, I'm like, boom, 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 I can get the Sun Split variants or some of their new stuff. I'm just able to just grab it, and it's such a pleasure. It's very, very cool, and he listens to me. If I encourage him to get something, he might do it. He doesn't always do it, but I'm like, hey, bro, you should fucking get these guys. It's like, yeah, I remember you get a Godspeed. And he was like, yeah, I didn't get Godspeed. I got it for a while and it wasn't really moving. I'm like, try that shit again. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. It's got like short finger in there as well with some of the Hellas and all that stuff. So, it's just really cool. And I'm grateful for that, having a local like that. So,
yeah.
big, 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 big shouts to Duran.
And another thing too on the bottle shop premium, it's like again one of those things of like I am happy to pay a premium per can in exchange for not having to buy a 4 pack or not having to pay for shipping. But like as an added bonus on that, like that like that premium is going into the pockets of a local coffee shop,
Correct.
like that. Like which is fantastic. You're supporting two businesses and like in that transaction, which is just great. Like
Correct.
there's nothing better than that there. So like I'm like first of all, I'm already happy to pay the premium, but it's even better that it's going to another local business and one that's as dope as Chris's. So it's perfect.
Couldn't agree more. And we want to keep those
So
cafes going and bumping.
and that's the case. And that's the case of whatever your local bottle shop is, whether whether it's the Wheeled Brew in Barrie, whether it's the corner store out here at Dominion City, whether
The Princess
whether
Cafe
it's
in Kitchener.
the Princess Cafe in Kitchener, whether it's the Cheshire Cat, whether it's whether it's the the OG bottle
Bottega
shop
Volo.
in Cambridge.
Yep.
Yeah,
Great one.
Bottega Volo. Yep. There's so
Brewery,
many.
What's it called? Bevy Beer.
Birriera Volo or
No.
Bevy Birra, yeah.
Yeah.
Or yeah,
Something like that.
there's so many there's so many great
Some
ones
great
in
ones.
Ontario, and whatever the premium
ship.
is going to support another it's going to support another local business, and some of them even ship. So
Exactly. So keep supporting those bottle shops because, maybe I just feel like that convenience is worth supporting. Like,
it is.
sometimes you want to order, but sometimes you want to just fucking... Today, I knew we had this pod tonight. I needed a Willowbold beer, and I needed there's another one that's going to be next, and I needed something different, and I knew they had something different that I didn't have here. And I went and grabbed that today, and I was like, but let me get the latest Badlands, let me get some Third Moon, let me get a bunch of other stuff, and it was just it's just a pleasure. It truly is, and I'm very, very grateful being here in Ontario to have that, which reminds me of Quebec a bit, as far as knowing that there's a bunch of depths that sell that stuff. So before we get to our brewery of the year, which is number 10, do you want to do the final top pod? And then maybe we'll do that.
You read my mind. I was thinking the exact same thing, so
Look
that we
at
can
us.
finish. So that we can finish with the
Strong
brewery of the
and
year.
hard.
That's right. All right. So our final top pod of 2023 is episode 121, called High Grade. Which, if you're familiar with the beer name, you probably know already. That is Fairweather Brewing. It was the guest on that episode.
That was such a good pod, man.
That was a great pod.
They had no idea it was going to be that fun.
Yeah, no, it's true. That one was fantastic. We absolutely fucking love the Hamilton beer scene, and and Fairweather are one of our absolute faves in the province.
100%.
They were in our top 10 for 2022. In fact,
They were. It was a big one last year because I went there a bunch too, and you were getting a bunch of stuff from them that we were like amped on this.
I
shit.
was.
Not to say that
I
this
was,
year they
'cause,
weren't killing it.
No, absolutely not. Cali King is still one of my favorite West Coast IPAs. It's on a short list for me. It's one that I wish they made more often because of how fucking good it is.
Agreed.
I
feel like that's when you got in a 4-pack. Didn't you just like, bro, give me a fucking 4-pack?
Oh yeah. Just get me 4 of them immediately.
Make it a case.
Yes, that was in fact when one of the times in the past couple of years that Noah came to visit me, I gave him a can of it, and then when I posted on Instagram that this was my last can of Cali King, I was like, I gave my last can away to Noah, and I fucking hate him now.
God damn it, Noah! You owe Nate some fire West Coasts. Hook him up.
To be fair, he also loved it. So,
Good.
So at least it went to a good cause.
There you go.
But anyway,
that's all that matters.
We fucking love Fairweather, and and it was so good to finally have them on, and it was a really, really good episode, and in very much in particular the trailer for it. I strongly encourage you to listen to the whole episode because it's a great episode. But the trailer has a great clip from it in which Rom says something that I wish I could replay to a bunch of assholes in the beer scene about how his response to the criticism that IPAs are easy to make. Like so he goes on like IPAs are absolutely not easy to make, and like and kind of like a lot of work goes into making a very good IPA, and making a good IPA is not fucking easy. Um,
Facts.
I'm not gonna try to recreate it on the fly here, but I would encourage you to, at the very least, go listen to the trailer, and even more so, go listen to the whole episode, because they're fucking champions. Ram and Brent are both are both top dudes, and it was a really good episode.
Yeah, man. Definitely a fave. Got to have him on this year again, and personally makes me really happy to be able to represent for Hamilton. I know we had Clifford on like very, very recent, like a month ago.
Yeah.
You know, having all
That was a great episode.
Yeah, we need to get Grain and Grit back on. We haven't had. There's a bunch. You know, we have like we're gonna get Merritt on. We haven't had Sean and Ed on.
Yep.
We're gonna get Mark from Barrel Heart on. So there's a bunch of stuff to do out here. But yeah, man, that was such a great one, and they were just super cool, super honest. It was super refreshing. They were just like super, like the honesty of them just being like who they are. I thought that was just really, really cool. Like there was no pretense, no bullshit, just fucking letting it rip. They were funny. They were funny as fuck. I didn't think they meant to be so funny. Like they were hilarious. That was a really enjoyable one. Hamilton's got a great scene. So
it was a good fucking year, man.
Honestly,
there were a lot of good podcasts this year.
Do you is it bias, because recency bias, to say that it may be the best year for pods yet?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, this is this was the first year that I've kind of been on as like a full-time co-host. So I mean, I don't want to say that that's made it the best year ever. But
I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, like, you know, facts are facts, bro. I'm not trying to argue with it. Yeah. It was. I feel like we just had a lot of exceptional ones, and we did have a bit more gaps than usual because I was in Florida for a while, and I only did like 2. You and I obviously didn't do any pods in that time. I think I did like 2. I think we did Harmons and we did Crowns and Hops in that time, and then summer we did pretty good. I think didn't we take a bit of a because I did the New England break, but that didn't fuck it up too much. I feel like we took another break.
We took a bit of a break, but we also did like front load quite a bit before you went on that trip. The break the break in pod releases was pretty short.
Okay, that's not too bad then.
Yeah, because we had a good like 4 to 6 week stretch of doing 1 or 2 each week. So we got we got to kind of so we got to have a good backlog that could flow through even while you were on vacation.
Yeah, well, it wasn't really vacation; it was just working.
It
wasn't cold.
Vacation wasn't the right word, but when you were traveling,
snowbirding. Trying to be like the Quebecs, you know. It was just really cool, man. I just feel like we just had some really, like, looking back and talking about all this, I feel like we had a lot of impactful conversations, even if the impact was on us primarily, and you know, hopefully a lot of people got to hear it and watch it and you know, just learn about some fantastic breweries.
Yeah, you know what? Like, we got to chat with some really good people in the scene, just like some really good, genuine conversation, and you know, some really solid folk running really good small businesses and like doing good shit in in a struggling industry.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's exactly what it was. It's rough times. 2023 as a fiscal year was not the easiest for Canadians, for Americans, for the world for the most part. And, you know, breweries were doing it hard, but it doesn't mean there isn't a lot of businesses out there doing some cool stuff, being creative, supporting their own community, which is really what we want to see. Just delivering some world-class shit. Like we said, one thing that I realized, I'd say my biggest realization in 2023 was how good we have it at home. And whether it was like you go somewhere like, oh yeah, Badlands is better if you're having haze, but like there's so much good stuff here that like it's like during the pandemic, like say you and me were both always pretty big travelers. We'd always be going somewhere, and like you'd bring me stuff from Maine and I'd bring you stuff from going. We'd always like do that pre 2020. And then obviously over those few years, we didn't really travel much. And for me getting back on the road in 2023, it was like, this is sick.
Yeah.
For the exploration side of it. Love the exploration side. But it made me realize just how good we have it at home. That was my biggest realization. In every category, whether it's Crispies, haze, farmhouse, stouts, smoothies, regular sours, whatever style you name it, we have world-class shit here in Canada. Here in Ontario, here in Quebec, wherever you want to say. Like, you know, it's fucking great. It's a great time to be into craft beer in Canada. And there's no shortage of phenomenal stuff that, you know, if you're not able to travel or if you don't want to travel, fuck it. You don't need to, bro. Order.
Things are good at home.
Order. Things are good at home. And with that, Nathaniel, are we up to our... wait, I got a sound effect for that.
Okay.
Are you ready for it?
Yes, and we don't know what beer we each have here.
No. We both are obviously drinking the brewery. Last one we knew we had the same beer from Rorschach. But right now, we are ready to announce not only the 10th brewery in the Ontario top 10 breweries of 2023, but our personal brewery of the year
for 2023.
I want you to do the
From
honors.
Toronto, Ontario, Godspeed Brewery.
Let's go.
That's the one.
Do we have the same beer? No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Well, what's that?
No.
Oh, Sumi. I've had that before.
Yes, I have got Sumi, the 8.5% Imperial Coffee Stout with chai tea.
Oh, that one's great. Sorry, I recognize the can. Yeah. I have literally the opposite. I have Meirudo, a 3.4% English dark mild ale. Complete opposite. Godspeed, guys. Like, Godspeed have been on the list. I think all three.
They definitely
they were
have.
all 3 years. Yeah, I was about to say I gasped that they might not have been in 2021.
We would have, like, you know what? It would have been a case of if they hadn't been, we should just end this podcast now and just like fucking leave and never do this again.
It's like, don't listen to anything that Nate or I ever say. But Godspeed. So we were talking about this, and this was like, trust when I say that this wasn't like a simple decision.
No,
I haven't had this. Oh, nice. I was excited to have something different. Nice. So, Godspeed had been around since, I think, 2017. And they make some of the most exquisite beers I have personally ever had in my entire life. Luke Bim, who's known as Bim, is just a genius, for lack of a better word. You know, what he's been able to do in 2023, even things like having that pitch line barrel, you know, custom made and sent over from Pilsner Urquell, and
like that's, it's just we were talking about this offline. Like, that's something that no one in North America has done before.
No, it's just
like
crazy.
That's unheard of. That's unheard of.
And like, yeah, I mean, like the quality, I mean, if I could go anywhere in Toronto, I would always go to Godspeed. Fun fact, we had friends in from San Francisco. I had a plan. We had 5 different breweries on the plan. We took them to one brewery in a day. We went to Godspeed. Luke happened to be there, and it was the day before he left to go to Japan, because he's basically splitting his time between Toronto and Japan at this point. And Luke was there, and he was there with some friends, and he came over to our table and like made us look super cool in front of our friends, and like hooked the table up with beer, and like he's just such a fucking G, man. I have so much respect for Luke. He just like always showed love every time I've seen him. Like, I went to buy a whole bunch of beer, and he just saw me walk to the retail store, I was ordering a bunch of stuff with the employee there, and then he came over and was like, "All right, what's he got?" Boom, boom, and then just filled up the case for me, and then charged me when I was more than happy to to pay the full retail price,
Yeah, of
because
course.
I love everything that they do. I'm like, I don't know, I just not only do I I fuck with Bim, but like the brand is so dope. They've been through a bunch of changes, and I know they've had it sort of like it's not the easiest time in the world, going through COVID and the pandemic. And he was explaining that they had their Japanese chef, and then he left, and they tried to get someone to replace him, and couldn't do that. And then they ended up partnering with Verse to have, which probably, as much as I love the Japanese food that they had, it probably makes more sense for them to partner with someone like Verse to have, the German style sausages and duck fat fries and all that, really fantastic stuff. And
Yeah.
have like 4 Luca taps on. I think when the times I was there, they had some stuff from Quebec in, from like Hildegard and shit, like their land beer or something like that. And it's just the attention to he was like, yo, it's the first time when he's going to Japan, he's like, yeah, I got like 2 brewers, and they're great, and they really listen to everything I'm saying. But he's like, yo, come by if you taste anything and you feel it's not up to scratch, like, let me know. Like he's just so like serious about his product. I can't say enough. Like, all of us are such big fans of everything, and I think Luke is just a wonderful human, and what he's doing, he's just so passionate about. That's why we were saying earlier about True History, doing the events with them. They must be fucking honored to be doing this with Godspeed.
We know they are. Like,
Yeah,
they said as much when we were talking to them.
they
Like
did. You're
like
right.
they
By the way, cheers.
they know. Oh yes.
We barely cheersed all night because we've been drinking
Cheers.
on and off. Get that up here.
No, it's true.
It's just, yeah, man.
Like, it was very clear when we were talking to Adam and Matt that, like, it's not lost on them what that cosign means.
Yeah. It's, anybody fucking with them right now, they know what's up, man. Like, I feel like they were ahead of the time when they started. I've talked about this before. The week they launched, I bought 2 of it. I came by in 2018 or 17, whatever it was, and bought 2 of everything. And I was like, oh, okay. I was expecting Haze. That was what I was on at the time, and they weren't doing that. And they've never followed any trends. They've always just done their thing and just made exceptionally high quality beer the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's it. I never wavered from that. And you gotta respect it, man. They're just top tier, exceptional.
And to come back to this again with like the Budvar collabs and the like the pitch line barrels and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like that is something
Pilsner
so
Urquell
truly
wasn't
original. And well, they've done both. The
the buh. I'm sorry,
yes.
You are right. So there was
Yeah.
that, and the pitch line was a Sklepnik. So the pitch line wasn't a collab, but it was a barrel that was custom made by Pilsner Urquell that was sent out.
Yes,
that they
yes.
put their
Sorry,
Pilsner Urquell
I'm-
tribute into.
Sorry, I'm mixing the two up. Yeah, but
We are
yes,
6 beers in. Don't you dare
I was
apologize.
But yes, I was talking about Bud. Because look
The
how
special
fucking
edition.
wild this is. Like
Bro.
they've done like all of the kind of like the OG of OGs in Czech brewing, like with
Don't get no
with
more
Pilsner
OG.
Urquell and and Budvar. They've done collaboration projects with both of them, for fuck's sake.
That's so crazy.
Like the pitch line, the pitch line barrel Sklepnik and the book collab with with Budvar. Like, that's fucking bananas.
Insane. Nobody else is doing anything like that. Nobody else had dedicated them. I would say they were the first that I saw in Canada, if not the world, to go like balls to the wall with Czech brewing practices. Like,
Yes.
dedicated to that. triple decoction, like floor malted Pilsner malt, like the whole works as far as making it as on point as possible, in their own way. I've had other people tell me they think their stuff is maybe a little bitter or whatever, but I'm like, that's the way that they do it. And I just feel like they've been authentic to themselves. They've got the Luca pause. They had that Japanese cuisine that I love so much, the karage chicken and all that type of stuff. And then they changed it for the verse, which works just as well, if not better. The brew pub is just such a vibe. I love it so much. I love that the short can, they got affordable short cans. I'm a big shorty fan. I'm a Godspeed fanboy, bro. Like, if I could go any brewery in Toronto, typically I still got to go to True History, like we were saying. But like prior to that, like I would just go to Godspeed every time, no question. Fun fact: our friends from San Francisco, so there's a couple. The husband, so we knew the wife. She was like actually one of our clients, and then she became our friend, and then we got to hang out, and we got beers in San Francisco, and then they came out here over the summer. So we took them there, and then Godspeed had their they went to Montreal, the couple, and we told them to go to Judas Ciel, and I don't think they did. Or no, they did, but they didn't have Péché, and I was like, you fucked up. And when we were at Godspeed, we all got the Péché Mortel, and they lost their fucking minds about. Yeah. So I'm gonna do because now it's available in cans at the LCBO. I'm gonna get a bunch of cans and ship it out to them as a little present and be like, hey, happy birthday! Fucking get some. They're gonna lose their shit. But just how much they lost their minds to the point where it was like, we can't leave here. Like, we had a whole plan to go to Rorschach and then Bellwoods and then somewhere. And I was just like, we're all vibing. We're eating. Let's just get the food and then let's stay here and just keep drinking. Then Luke came like, Luke, what up? And it was like, none of us wanted to leave. And I just really felt like, says a lot about a place. You feel like we had plans and that place was so dope that none of us, like my brother came as well. So it was like 5, 6 of us. Nobody wanted to leave. It kind of like, said it all about, what Godspeed really truly offers. I just think that there's such an important institution of not only Toronto craft beer, but Ontario craft beer, and kind of what you were saying before, maybe even larger again, like, Canadian craft beer in general. It's just...
I think there's no question. Yeah. Like, no one attempts the things that they do, and I think no one could even approach the things that they do. They are in a league of their own. Well said. Like in Ontario, in Canada, in North America, like they are a top tier brewery. No one could argue.
It's not even a thing. There's not a conversation about something like this, man. It's they're just so great. And for us, we were like, well, when you usually go for something like a brewery of the year, it's very easy to give maybe more of like a hype brewery that designation. And we were both just like, this kind of made sense. We didn't really have to, once this Godspeed was put into this conversation, because we weren't sure what to do, we were both just like... It was very easy once we kind of started down that path. I'm like, no, you know what? This is an easy choice. One. It makes sense. It made sense, and I feel like they deserve it. They probably deserved it from time. But I mean, maybe that's part of what it is. They make understated, high quality, exquisite beers, and sometimes those beers aren't in your face, and those things that aren't in your face maybe don't always get the recognition that they deserve. And then over time, like, that level of quality and persistence and like consistency is like valuable, and you're like, oh shit, these guys are fucking just killing it. I mean, both of us knew that they were killing it, but it was like this year, 2023, we were both like, man, like, This is it. This is it, and I just feel like it's really well deserved. And we've been trying to figure it out with Luke to jump back on the pod again. And he's a very busy guy, and he's traveling a lot, which makes it a little complicated. So we're going to try and figure it out. But
hopefully we'll be able to make it happen.
Yeah, hopefully we're able to do it because it's been since 2018. Scott and I had him on in 2018, so hopefully we can jump back on because I imagine a lot has changed in damn near 6 years. So yeah, man, Godspeed. A well deserved as the brewery of the year for sure. For this, how's that beer, by the way? It's great, eh? The dark. The stout.
It's fantastic,
yeah.
And this one is probably about like a year and a half, maybe even 2 years old at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's great. It's great. Like the stout is exceptional. I mean, if I had been tasting this blind, never would have guessed it was 8.5%. This could easily have been a 5% stout. And my camera batteries died. I'm gonna have to change that before we wrap up. But just as I'm talking,
pause it and we can do it, or you want to keep talking? Because we can pause for a second.
You know what? If you why don't you pause it? It would be good to have a pee break before we wrap up.
I'm down for that. Let's pause, and by the time we come back, you guys won't even notice. And our bladders are empty. So empty. So, Nathaniel, what a year for Ontario craft beer.
Oh my God, what a year!
It's
it's
impeccable.
Overall, it's been a fucking rough year in Ontario craft year.
That's a great fucking point.
We can't fucking mince words about that. It's been a fucking rough year, and and there's undoubtedly more rough times ahead. But the point tonight is to celebrate the good in Ontario, in Ontario craft beer, and Ontario makes some fucking outstanding beer.
It truly, truly does. It's never ceases to amaze me how good Ontario craft beer is. We're so fortunate that we're in a place that hey buddy, that makes such great products constantly, consistently in every. Hang on, try and pick him up. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Go boy. There you go. That makes such good products year round, in every category. I feel very. I know you've been in Ontario for a while, but I personally feel like really blessed to be here and to be able to experience what we have here, and I don't feel any form of like FOMO or lack or any of those things being here. Once again, like I was saying, this is my first full year as an Ontario resident for a long time, and like I said, I kept mad tabs on it beforehand. But god damn it, I just feel like it's just getting even better, and it's at a level where I didn't even think it could achieve. I've had some farmhouse beers this year that rivals almost anything I got elsewhere. Smoothie sours, pastry stouts, barrel-aged stouts, crispies, every single form of crispies you can think of, every single form of haze you can think of, English beers, Belgian beers, fucking you name it. I really, truly feel like I've experienced here in Ontario. And whilst this is, once again, our top 10, Nathan and I, this is our top 10 that we had to mutually agree on after a list that was a lot bigger than this, and to try and think of the breweries that maybe impressed the most for the year. And, there's going to be a bunch of others that people are going to mention that we didn't, once again, just to remind folks, that maybe we didn't get to try it or whatever, but god damn it, this year in 2024, hopefully we get to dabble in some more of that stuff. You can only do so much, otherwise you're going to literally be drinking every minute of every day, and that's not plausible. So, I feel like we did the best with what we had, and I really feel like this is a super phenomenal list of breweries, plus honorable mentions, plus phenomenal podcasts. I just think overall, I almost feel biased because I feel like 2023 was one of the best years of my life, if not the best year of my life, personally. And I just feel like it's some of the best years of beer I've experienced in quite some time. Maybe it was because of the travel and the context and contrast between it all, but I just grateful for it all, man. I think we're very fortunate right now. Great time to be into beer.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear, man. I'm glad to hear that it was such a good year for you.
It's definitely like, personally, but like, I guess that's outside of the context of all of this, but yeah, just for the beer and just discovery and just there was so much stuff. Maybe for me it felt a bit more like a rediscovery because I was able to go to so many places and even through some stuff, we had a bunch of closures, unfortunately, that I guess is going to be out of scope of what we're talking about tonight, and aside
And
from
some that were really heartbreaking.
Many that were very heartbreaking, absolutely, and we discussed one of those earlier, and that aside, though, like I just feel like the future is looking very bright for Ontario craft beer. There, even if you look as far as the OCB working on the tax issue, which is extremely unfair here, like the amount that Ontario craft breweries are paying is so much more than breweries from other provinces. It's he wants to get down. Okay, buddy, come on, I'm fun, man. It's not fair, but they're pushing through, making it work, thriving through the fuckery. And, Ontario craft breweries should be really proud of what they've achieved this year, man. I think a lot of beer fans like us are well aware of this as well, that we have it really really great here. A lot of people don't travel that much, and I feel like the people who travel will probably know just how great we do have it, and the travel is fun and the exploration is fun, but it does give you that sort of like context of like, oh man, like what don't we have here?
Yeah,
I don't feel like we're missing shit. So, beautiful place to be for beer, wonderful people, some brilliant businesses, some fantastic business people that are just, some are expanding, some are shrinking, some are changing the way they approach stuff, but no shortage of just fantastic products for us to enjoy. And I don't know, I'm excited for this year. Once again, it's only January 4th, so basically nothing's happened. And I'm excited to see what happens, dude. I'm excited. Like,
yeah, same.
I hope for the best. Obviously, there's a lot of potential doom and gloom type of shit. Whilst the world is in this maybe bit of a downturn, which is historically a thing that happens regularly. We haven't seen such a downturn in craft beer, I believe, in either of our time involved in beer.
No.
So, a little bit unprecedented, but at the same time, I don't know. I just feel like this cautiously optimistic about it all. And if this is the quality of what we're getting through the rough times, then fuck, bro. We're going to be okay. And as long as people keep supporting and keep investing in these businesses and these small businesses that are hubs of communities that bring people together, that keep the community together, I feel like we'll be in a great place. So I'm looking forward to a year's time when we look back at 2024 and see how this goes, my man.
Yep. And just a small reminder to not take your favorite breweries for granted. Do continue to support them.
Fucking
and,
yes.
Your favorite breweries, your favorite bottle shops, all of those businesses that keep that really keep the industry going. Don't take them for granted. Spend your money there. It means a lot to them.
It really does. And if you're able to go and invest in a local business instead of spend, and that goes for restaurants, that goes for supermarkets. Like, we've been trying now to not go to a supermarket and trying to go to a smaller butcher and go to a smaller grocer to get our vegetables and fruits and all that type of thing, and just really put the money in the places that support the community and that are run by the community. And same thing with beer. Whether it's a store, whether it's a brewery itself, whatever it might be, go to them first because they get most of the money. If you're going to drink out, go to the brewery, man. Or go to a bar. Go to your favorite beer bar that buys directly from that brewery that, they're going to that money's going directly to the people in the community that's going to be reinvested in the community because that is where they live and that's where they're going to spend their money. It's never been more important. It's like we're globalized, but it's like the last few years have showed us how important localized is. And the global thing is cool, but if you're able to keep that going locally, I think the ultimate long-term outcome is much more significant than anything else, than any convenience or anything else that maybe you could achieve from it all. So, particularly goes extra hard in breweries, like you said, bottle shops, whatever it might be, local bars. Just support them, bro.
Yeah.
If this is what you're into, I imagine if you're watching or listening, you're probably fucking into beer. So,
Indeed. Ultimately, like, do the best you can because shit is obviously hard on consumers as well, and and it's not easy out there for anyone right now. But we all just got to keep trying to help each other.
Could not agree more, and that's it's a great message to wrap up on. So, bro, this was amazing. Once again, congrats to all the breweries. Top 10 of, once again, BAOS, Nate and I, our favorite breweries of 2023. Everyone that made it were phenomenal. There's a bunch of other phenomenal ones, once again, that didn't. I really want to just reiterate because I feel like that's always like the sticking point, was always like who didn't make it, or people always have something to say there, and just our opinion from what we tried. And I'm excited. We're both excited for what's to come in 2023, what we're going to be exposed to, and what's going to happen. So, Nathaniel, where can everyone find you online, sir?
You can find me online everywhere at NathanDoesBeer on all the social platforms, and right here at BAOS Podcast.
You're goddamn right. Guys, thank you so much for watching and listening. If you enjoyed the episode, smash the thumbs up, hit subscribe below, and hit that notification bell.
Ding, motherfucker.
So you know when the new drops. Follow us everywhere at BAOS Podcast. And check out the long form audio so you can hear Nathaniel and I talk about craft beer every goddamn week. Give us that 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It means a lot. Really, really, really helps. Guys, we'll see you in the next episode. But before we do that, Nate, we need to take a screenshot. I forgot.
Yeah, we do.
We're going to get a different thumbnail, obviously. But let's hold a couple things up. Ooh, we got these collabs here. Yeah, there you go. Oh shit, Nathaniel got that. That Brewery of the Year vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get that forehand. You use those big fingers. Ready? And folks, until then, we'll see you in the next one. Get in here.
Cheers.